like doc dropping, you know, severe infractions.
All right. You know what? It's Dopey's world tonight. I'm just jiving on through it. To enter the voice, don't kick for anything besides spamming and doc dropping. If you do, I'll kick you. So how about that? Better
Sounds
Dopey?
fair to me.
Sounds good. All right. Well, let's get the ball rolling here.
Sure.
You've never shown yourself in a video, yet your attack videos or criticisms, as you call them, rely heavily on the use of petty insults and not a clear-cut example of cowardice.
Well, first I disagree with the assertion that they rely heavily on insulting other people's appearances, because I think it's clear that they do not.
Okay. The 2009 video FakeSagan fails.
Mm-hmm.
And the case with speech is a speech impediment in itself.
You bloody well stammer.
Your May 7th was a cross between Jon Favreau and Harold Ramis, and that was the first thing you said in the video. That's what you opened the video with. In September 14th, 2009, the StraightDope on the Woods of Jordan, you called the Woods of Jordan fat and balding. In FakeSagan Fails Volume 2, you called Galen a portly lackey. Oh yeah, you getting tired? You're going to be a lot more tired, buddy.
Well, I'd like to. Can I respond? Yeah, you said I heavily rely on that stuff.
Okay.
So you picked out I called Brett Keane a fat fuck.
Yeah.
That's
among
two
other
words.
things.
That's
Examples again. I've got a lot more.
Brett Keane. That Brett Keane video.
Okay. Yes. What about it? That particular video, you called him a liar. You've called him a coward.
I'm talking about physical appearance. You're going. You said that my videos heavily rely on physical insults about people's physical appearances.
I did.
So now I'm singling one out, and I'm saying, okay, that Brett Keane video that you referred to.
I don't know the exact time of that.
I'll tell you how long it was. 9 minutes and 54 seconds.
Okay.
And you found 2 words about his physical appearance.
Yes.
How many words do you think were in that 10-minute video?
Used once in a 10-minute video. The point is taken.
So is that heavily...
Rely heavily on the use of physical insults, and yet you don't show yourself.
No, that's the thing. I don't rely heavily on them. You could take those out, and it would make no difference.
Well, then why don't you take them out?
The fact is, I've used...
Then why don't you take them out?
I've said things like that very selectively, and I've used them against people who have done it themselves.
Okay, yeah, but the people who are doing that show themselves. So when you put your face out in public for others to see, then you have the right to criticize somebody else's appearance. But when you hide in the shadows and lurk like a creepy faggot, you forfeit that right. Do you understand the point I'm making here, Dopey?
Creepy faggot.
Yeah, that's right.
I understand your point,
right,
and I disagree. I think if you make it
you're an ugly faggot,
other people's appearances, then
anyone
else
boring,
can do the same thing, and it's fair game.
drinking fuckface. So, I guess we both like to use ad hominems, Dopey. Right?
Sometimes I use ad hominems. They're really more of a garnish than anything else in my videos.
Okay, they're a garnish, sure.
Yeah.
So you make other points
in
your videos besides, they're not. It's not just 10 minutes of insults on Brett Keene's weight. But what I'm asking you
exactly. So
is
they don't
why
really
should
rely
physical
on that.
insults even be on the table for a guy who doesn't fucking show himself? That should be off the table. That should not be in your purview.
Whose rules are these? Everything's on the table. Any word I want to use is on the table. I'm expressing my opinion.
Well, whose rules are these? Nobody's if you want to be a pussy. I mean, you could beat up a man with no arms or legs, and who's to say that you can't do it? But you're still a pussy. Do you see where I'm going here?
You think that's akin to beating up a man with no arms and no legs?
Yeah, I do. I think you're using an unfair advantage. Your appearance cannot be criticized, so you don't have the right to criticize somebody else's fucking appearance.
If I give back to people that they've given to others, I don't have any requirement to hand them some kind of vulnerability or any kind of reciprocity. I don't have a requirement to do that. And I've gone after assholes. Okay, I haven't picked out some random person and said, hey, look, this guy's ugly. Look at this fucking guy. I mean, I've chosen people who have made it routine to attack other people and completely unprovoked.
So you've gone after assholes selectively, exclusively assholes, right?
In my opinion, exclusively assholes.
Well, to quote the dude, that's just like your opinion, man.
It is. Very good.
Right. Okay.
And I think I've
you have no obligation to give people any kind of reciprocity, but the fact that you don't means you like to have an unfair advantage. And what do we call people who like to have an unfair advantage? A pussy, right?
Maybe you
Have you ever heard the saying, taking candy from a baby? Straight dope. Is that fair in your book? I mean, do you just have like an entirely different way of looking at the world?
Did you feel like you were a baby and I was taking your candy when I called you an ugly box wine drinking fuckface, fakey?
I did, Dopey. I cried myself.
I know. This is all about you being butthurt because you don't have anything to say about my appearance. That's all it is. And you have nothing to say about the.
I might have plenty to say about your appearance.
Or any
I might have plenty to say about your fucking
logic.
appearance. I might have plenty to say about your appearance. You could be an ugly fuck. I bet you are. But we'll never know, because you're pressing an unfair advantage, like the coward that you are.
So how do you define coward?
How do I define coward? Someone who lacks bravery.
Yeah, that's a pretty shitty definition.
I think it's the dictionary definition, Dopey.
Well, you have to define bravery then.
Coward?
Define bravery.
Bravery is when you are willing to assume risk.
Yes, perhaps, for a good cause, for a good reason, for something important, not unnecessarily, and for no benefit to yourself. That's called stupidity.
Pardon me, I'm referring to my notes.
All right, refer away.
Thank you.
Let me take a second then if you're busy reading your scroll or whatever you're doing.
No, I'm good.
Well, can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead. Don't try to filibuster me.
I just want to point out that the whole premise of this debate is pretty idiotic to begin with, because...
Well, you agreed to it then. Do you want to rage quit, Dopey? Feel free.
No, I'm not going anywhere.
Don't let the door hit you in your pretentious liberal Canadian ass on the way out.
I'm not going anywhere, Fakey.
Okay, then.
I just want to point out that you're...
Stop crying, man. So, do you want the ambulance? What the fuck,
Do you want to keep talking over me? Is this why you got me in here?
Oh, okay, go ahead. And go ahead and talk more about how this is a pointless debate.
FakeSagan,
Go ahead.
Has diarrhea of the... Is that what you want this to be?
It's a pointless debate. It's a waste of my time. Go ahead.
No, what I was going to say is your entire conception of anonymity is fucking idiotic. So the whole premise of this thing is
and what is your conception of anonymity, Dopey?
Well, your conception of anonymity, as you described it in your second video to me, was basically telling people whether or not you tell people about your day, right? You said,
among other things, sure.
Well, this is what you said. You were talking about Lee Doran, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you said, if he asked the girl out that day, would we know about it? No, and that's what anonymity really is, which pretty much just shows that you don't have a very good grasp on the concept of anonymity, which only pertains to your identity and, in the most pure form, your name.
Mm-hmm.
So for you to try to assert that you're some less anonymous than Lee Doran, who gives everyone his real name right on his channel, and one Google search will give you a bio of him and tell you where he's from, what he does, where he went to school. Because we don't know what he ate for lunch, he's more anonymous than you, is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
Okay, you done?
Sure.
Okay. You said that anonymity is hiding your identity, right?
Yeah, it has to do with your identity.
Okay. What's in a name to make a trite point, StraightDope? Doesn't your identity have more to do with who you are as a person, what you think, what you believe, what you do?
No, your identity is...
No. Okay.
Not when you're talking about anonymity. No.
Let's get back to the physical insults here.
Why?
Dopey. Because I wasn't finished with my point. You wanted to interject. I let you do it, and now you're done.
You don't want to.
In May 30th,
the point?
dismantling more of Brett Keene's lies. You said, Brett, when I called you a fat fuck in the video, it wasn't an insult. It was just another factual statement, a simple observation. What kind of bullshit is that? Are you being intellectually honest there? I mean, is it not an insult to call somebody a fat fuck? That's a simple observation? Really?
Obviously I was having some fun there. That was a joke.
It was a joke. I wonder if Brett's laughing.
I didn't want Brett to laugh.
Okay.
My video wasn't for Brett's enjoyment.
Yeah, because you were harassing him.
Brett was the one DMCAing me. Why would I want Brett to laugh at something?
So did he just DMCA you out of nowhere? He just picked you at random and issued a DMCA?
He picked me because I made a video exposing him as a liar.
Exposing him as a liar. And what lies were you exposing? Since that video's gone now, I don't have it available to review myself. It's been taken down. It was never re-uploaded.
So what?
So I'm asking you to tell me what lies
this was over 2 years ago. He told his story about why he was suspended. Obviously, he left out the fact that he dropped somebody's docs, or at least he told his version of it and said it wasn't actually somebody's docs, and so on and so on. He told his version of the plagiarism, and it was all bullshit. So I told the true story of Brett Keene's involvement on YouTube, which led to his suspension. So it was a narrative
Were you the first to expose that particular lie?
First?
Yeah. Were you the first one to expose that lie of Brett Keene's? Or were you jumping on a bandwagon?
What bandwagon would that have been?
The let's all pillory Brett Keene bandwagon that's been rocking along since 2006, the party that you are late to.
Well, I wasn't late because I was responding to
Brett Keane. You've been milking Brett Keane's fat, sweaty man tits for every last subscription you can get, and I think your only original point about Brett Keane is that he DMCA'd you 2 years ago.
I made one video about Brett Keane, and he decided to DMCA it, and that's why I've been all over him since then. Only because of that. I countered one video he made, and I told the story as myself and a lot of other people remembered it, and he chose to DMCA it, and then DMCA the next video I made in response to his subsequent bullshit, and he DMCA'd me until I was suspended. So I came back and I said, anytime I feel inclined to point out more of Brett Keane's bullshit because he has made me his fucking enemy by getting me suspended. I think that's entirely fair.
Do you think it's entirely fair to respond to Mannix the Pirate's criticism that you're a faceless troll by saying, I guarantee you that I do in fact have a face? Is that a cop-out, Dopey? Is that a glib, superficial answer to a meaningful question?
That was me making a joke about the wording. I wasn't about to make an entire video defending.
I noticed you make a lot of fucking jokes. You thoroughly handed Brett Keane his ass in the debate that you had with him, but he did make one good fucking point. Brett Keane said to you that you're worried about people doing the same thing to you that you do to everybody else. And you didn't fucking respond to that point. You answered, okay, and then you went on to start asking him questions and
of course I did.
Interrogating him for the next hour and a half. Well,
yeah.
When are you going to give a meaningful fucking answer to that question?
Because it's not what I do to everyone else. I've done it to a few people who I think are fucking pricks and who have asked for it.
Okay, so the logic that you're employing here is that because
you haven't... I've done it very rarely.
The logic that you're employing here is that because you haven't ridiculed the appearance of every single person on YouTube, it's okay. It's okay that you insult the way other people look and you don't show yourself. Because you haven't done it to everybody, just a few people. Right?
Well, yeah, I chose who I wanted to do it to. Yeah, the people who have done it to others constantly. Yeah.
Yeah, the people who have done it to others while leaving themselves vulnerable to the same criticism, which you do not.
By their own choice.
People who are willing to take what they dish out, which you are not. That's the difference, Dopey.
I didn't
That's
catch
what you
that.
don't fucking understand.
Up.
What?
You were breaking up. I didn't catch that.
I said it doesn't justify you ridiculing other people's appearance just because they've done it to other people, because they left themselves open to the same criticism, whereas you do not.
I think it does.
You see the difference there? See,
I think I am justified in doing it.
Brett Keane shows his face. So if he insults the way I look and he says, hey, FakeSagan, you're an ugly motherfucker, that's okay. Because I could say, you know what, Brett, you're an ugly motherfucker too. But when you show up and call Brett ugly or call me ugly, that's unfair.
So it's unfair.
It's unfair.
That's the point. It's unfair.
The point is it's unfair. It's a cruel, unfair world with pussies like you in it. Yeah, I'm butthurt. That's the point. And I don't think you've adequately addressed that point at all. You're saying that...
How about I say that I don't care if it's unfair, because I think the people I've done it to are vile fucking assholes, and I don't care.
Well, what if I say that you're a vile fucking asshole? I mean, then once again, that's a matter of opinion.
Yeah, of course. Just like it's your opinion that I don't have the right to say the things I say.
But what would prevent you from ridiculing Brett Keane's appearance and showing your own ugly-ass face? Like, you can go ahead and make that without being a pussy. I do it. A lot of people fucking do it.
Fakey.
Yes.
Do you understand what an ad hominem is?
Yeah. It's an attack on a person instead of their argument.
In order to discredit the argument or as an excuse to say that it's invalid.
Sure, and because the physical insults aren't actually the crux of your argument, they're just an added garnish. It doesn't count as ad hominem. Fine. Point taken, and I concede the point to you, sir.
Okay.
However, my fucking original criticism stands. What stops you from showing yourself? Why do you have to hide in the shadows like a coward?
I'm making the rational choice not to show myself, and I don't consider that to be cowardly.
Well, by that reasoning, wouldn't it be the rational choice for a boxer to choose fights with somebody else who's way below his weight class since he's more likely to win? Unfair advantage, it's just rational, right? It's the smart thing to do.
Of course it is.
Okay, so you admit that you're a coward.
I did not admit that I'm a coward. I admitted that would be a rational choice.
Okay. The rational choice for a coward to make.
The rational choice for a rational actor to make. Someone who makes cost-benefit this and decides that they want to come out on top.
Okay.
I'm talking abstractly here.
But you know what, Dopey? ESPN would get really fucking boring. Because the fights wouldn't last very long.
The fights are regulated, and that's the only reason that doesn't happen.
Right. Well, maybe we need some regulation on fucking YouTube.
Guess what?
For
Boxers
guys like
gain
you.
Fakey.
Yeah.
Boxers gain as much weight as they possibly can after they weigh in. They fucking, devour the carbs for fucking 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Just for that reason. They do that. They're trying to get as much of an edge as they can all the time.
Okay. I think you're getting a little too into this metaphor, Dopey.
Okay. You want to talk in metaphors, I'll continue the metaphors.
It's silly how evasive you're being, because I don't know if you realize how transparent that is to people or not.
I'm being evasive?
Yeah, you're evading the fucking point. That's exactly what you're doing.
I think I'm trying to continue a logical stream of conversation, and you keep cutting it short to say, so you're a coward, and that's extremely annoying to me. I'd like to exhaust the point before you just ending it and throwing in more name-calling, basically, which you haven't really justified.
I can't believe that you're criticizing me for name-calling.
No, I'm criticizing you.
You of all people, Dopey.
No, I'm not criticizing you for name-calling. I'm criticizing you for cutting off a course of conversation to revert to that over and over. I don't care if you call me names. I don't give a fuck. I care that when a particular path doesn't seem to be going your way, you just jump back to your starting point.
It's called staying on point. You are trying to change the subject, and I'm changing it back. That's what's going on here. You're trying to evade the point and change the fucking subject, and you don't like that I'm bringing it back and staying on message.
I'm
sorry, Dopey. That's the way it's going to be for the rest of this fucking debate. You want to rage quit? You want to fucking cry about it? Go ahead.
Why do you think I would rage quit?
I don't know. You sound pretty frustrated with the way I debate.
Well, because you're barely letting me get a word in edgewise, which pretty much a lot of people predicted would happen, and I expected. But of course, it's a little frustrating.
Okay, get a word in edgewise, Dopey. I'm all ears.
All right. Why don't I tell you what my definition of a coward is?
Okay.
A coward, or something that's cowardly action is when a person refrains from doing something that they know is right or important because they fear the personal consequences. And I would say that only applies when those personal consequences are proportional to the possible benefit of the action.
Hold on, could you start again? That's fear of doing what's right and important because of the consequences? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would say that YouTube, being my hobby, is not worth any risk to anything I have now or any future prospects, and it's not necessary for me to say anything I want to say or get any effect I want to get, and so it doesn't fit in with my definition, which I think is a good one.
Okay. So it's not worth assuming any risk to your real life for your YouTube hobby. That's what you're saying here, right?
Yeah, of course. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that works just fine for me because it sounds like you're avoiding doing what's right and important, which is creating a level playing field where you do not have an unfair advantage.
No,
because you're afraid of the consequences.
No, you're
afraid
of
the real-life consequences for you. What about the rest of us, Dopey? Do you think that guys like me and Brett Keane don't have career concerns, or we're not worried about our interpersonal relationships getting damaged by what we do on the internet, but we nut up and we fucking show ourselves?
Are you fucking joking? Brett Keane worried about career aspirations? Give me a fucking break, man.
What do you know about Brett Keane?
Look, you're missing the point.
How do you know that Brett Keane does not have a job, sir?
Hey, you're missing the point, which is that...
I'm missing the point? No, you're making fucking statements that you can't qualify.
Hey, why don't you tell me why you're missing the fucking point?
Claim.
Hey,
isn't it funny to think about Brett Keane having a job? How do you fucking know that Brett Keane doesn't have a job?
Shut up for a second.
Do you have proof of that?
Do I have proof that Brett Keane doesn't have...
Do you have proof that Brett Keane doesn't have a job? Yes.
Proof? I know,
That's a fucking no, Dopey. Why don't you shut up?
He's agoraphobic, supposedly. He can't leave the fucking house. He spends all day on YouTube. I know he doesn't have a job.
How do you know he doesn't have a job? Maybe he has a computer at work. Maybe that's his fucking office cubicle.
You think it's his office cubicle?
You don't know shit about Brett Keane. You know about his internet persona. You're making fucking baseless claims that you can't back up. Let's confine this debate to the realm of facts, shall we?
I think it's apparent that Brett Keane does not have a fucking job. And you can disagree all you want. I think that makes you look...
It's apparent that Brett Keane doesn't have a fucking job. It's just apparent because the guy makes a lot of videos. It's obvious. There's no way he's got a job. Not even a part-time job. Right?
Well, according to him, he can't leave the house. He's unable to work. And I'm pretty sure...
And you don't think he can be making sales calls, doing web design, any of the numerous jobs that somebody can do from their fucking home? You're making assumptions and presenting them as fact, Dopey. Do you understand why I have a problem with that?
They're not assumptions. They're evidence-based inferences.
They're evidence-based inferences. Man, that's worthy of Fox News. Nice spin, bro.
Thank you.
Wow, I like that.
It's not spin, it's the truth.
So it's like the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence, right? That's real cute. I like that. That's good.
You think that it's a question whether or not Brett has a fucking job?
Yeah, I do think that's in question. I think you can't prove that he doesn't. I think you're stating it like it's a fucking fact.
I can't prove that he doesn't. Okay, you got me there.
There you go. Just
I
like
have
I can't
all the
prove
reason
there's
in the
not a
world
God,
to believe
right?
that he doesn't.
I could call myself an atheist, but I can't prove that there's not a fucking God. If I want to limit myself to the strictest fucking rigors of rationale and logic, I have to concede that I can't prove there's not a God. Even though I might think it's ridiculous, I can't prove it. And you cannot prove that Brett Keane doesn't have a fucking job. So don't state it like it's a known fucking fact. You could say you don't think he has a job.
I laughed at it, is what I did. I didn't state that it was a fact. I laughed at the fucking idea that he has a job because I think it's completely apparent to anyone who pays attention that he does not. This is a waste of time.
Okay, let's move on. Okay.
Wait. Hold on a second.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back to the point you missed with my definition of coward after you rambled on about this other crap. The point was that YouTube, my presence on YouTube is not very important in relation to anything else in my life, and I don't think that it's necessarily the relative right thing to do to show myself. I don't think that there's any moral demand for it.
There's no moral obligation for you to put your neck out and do that, right?
Yeah, and that's.
Well, I would agree with you. I would agree with you if you weren't making attacks about other people's fucking appearance. But because you do, that puts the obligation on you to leave yourself vulnerable to the same fucking attacks and create a level playing field. Otherwise, you're a coward. And I can't force you to show yourself or reveal personal details. I don't have that ability. But I'm going to call you a fucking coward for not doing it voluntarily, because that's what you fucking are. There's a lot of people on YouTube showing their faces, Dopey, and all of them have real lives. Most of them have fucking jobs. Most of them have fucking families, and yet they nut up and they fucking accept the risks and the consequences, which is what you can't do. But you also can't refrain from fucking insulting the way other people look, and that makes you a coward. It doesn't matter if you don't understand. You cannot get the point. You're still a fucking coward. Now,
you can call me a coward.
You said the fucking.
I think you're.
You said to Brett Keane that I did call you a fat fuck once, and I know it's been keeping you up nights for 2 fucking years. That's the same argument you made against me when I challenged you to this debate. You said I've been obsessed with you for 2 years. You get a lot of mileage out of that one, don't you?
No, I didn't say that. I said that I said you, and which I think is obvious because you're still you still feel like you need to explain why you didn't respond to a video that's over 2 years old.
Oh,
I think you're butthurt. I think it's obvious that you're butthurt.
Dopey, guess what? Oh, I'm plenty butthurt. I'm plenty butthurt because I hate what you fucking do. I think you're a coward troll that's trying to get the status and recognition of a vlogger, and I'm not going to fucking let that shit happen.
Should I call the ambulance now?
Hey, I guess you saved 2 seats for both of us, right? We're both riding the ambulance tonight.
I don't think I need it yet, but you may need an actual ambulance if there are any sharp objects near you.
Oh. The low blows are coming out. You want to ask how taste your PP too? You gonna pull that one out, or are you saving that for the second?
I don't need to now, do I? I don't need to. You've already referenced that, and now it's in everybody's minds.
Well, yeah, because they had entirely forgotten about it before, right?
Maybe for the time being.
Dopey, pull out all the low blows. It's not gonna get you out of this. All right. Now let's move on. All right. You know, I'm not gonna sell you on the fact that you have an obligation to show your own face if you're gonna insult the way other people look. I think that makes perfect sense to a sane person with a set of fucking balls. But I guess it's never gonna make sense to you, so I'll fucking move on. Now here's my second question. I and many other YouTubers...
We're only on your second question?
You're only on my second question. Yeah, you're really in for some shit. I and many other YouTubers have been accused of being trolls. You know that's true. But it isn't common practice to respond to such criticisms with a propaganda PSA that attempts to narrow the definition of trolling. And yet that's precisely what you did with the StraightDope on trolls. So my question to you is, why did you feel it was necessary to go to this extraordinary length to defend yourself against accusations of trolling? Accusations, excuse me. I'm hearing
Well, you missed the point of that video. The point of that video wasn't to defend myself.
Oh, no, I know the point wasn't to defend yourself directly. The point was, you actually had a much more ambitious goal, which was to narrow the entire definition of trolling so that it no longer applied to you. You were aiming big. You were aiming real big.
No, the point was that I had seen many people get called trolls because they didn't have a picture on the profile or they weren't in videos, and so they leave comments and get called troll. and they would feel compelled to, against their better judgment and out of their comfort zone, put a picture up, and that was pissing me off. So I made a video about what the real definition of an internet troll is. I explained it. That's what a troll actually is, what I said in that video. Someone who leaves comments and doesn't have a picture of themselves, that's not what a troll is. I didn't narrow the definition. I gave the real definition, and it was for the benefit of other people so that they could look at that and say, well, maybe I don't have to be influenced by these retards throwing around this label, which is meaningless. That was the point of that video.
So it was for the benefit of other people. It was not because you were dealing with frequent accusations of trolling and it hit home. And you wanted to deflect that criticism by trying to change people's perceptions of what a troll is.
I don't give a fuck if people call me a troll. I don't care what they say. I don't care if people don't like my anonymity. I don't care if people don't like what I say in videos. I do what I do. I don't give a shit.
You started making political videos later on in your YouTube career, but for the first year that you were on YouTube, every single one of your videos was a criticism of someone except for the StraightDope on trolls. That was your only video that was actually on a topic and not about a person. So why? Why is trolling such an important issue to you? You only make one video that...
I think I just answered that question. I mean, I make videos very sparsely, so just because it was the first topical video that wasn't about a specific person I made in the first year doesn't mean much. I've put up like under 40 videos in over 2 years, so that doesn't mean shit. I explained why I made that video.
Okay. What makes your definition of trolling the correct one?
Because that's what it's meant for years and years and years on the internet until all of a sudden certain sites have had a norm of visual identification.
Okay, so the definition of trolling meant one thing before the multimedia revolution, back when there was just news groups and message boards, and then the definition changed with the internet, and you want to keep the old definition.
With the... No.
Right, the internet changed, and hence the definition changed.
No, some different elements of it emerged in the context of the rest of the internet on forums and message boards all over the place. Still means the exact same thing. Like I said in the video, on YouTube, the term has been bastardized, and now people use it against anybody they don't like, and especially if they don't have a picture on their profile. And I think people should be able to leave comments, and they're not trolls just because you don't like their comment and you can't see what they look like. Would you disagree with that? I don't think the definition has changed. I think that people have bastardized the word, and my point was that now it's become meaningless, and so it shouldn't affect people, and it shouldn't have any influence on their actions, especially when those actions are things that they'd be uncomfortable with doing.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. But Dopey, you're saying that the word has been bastardized, and what I'm saying is that it has evolved to fit the times, okay?
I disagree. I think it's meaningless now, pretty much.
It's meaningless now. All right. Well, look, your
definition the way it's
of...
used on YouTube is meaningless.
The way it's used on YouTube is meaningless.
Yes. In the vast majority of cases. In the vast majority of cases.
So troll is just a meaningless statement. Doesn't mean anything. Right.
Most of the time on YouTube that I've seen, yeah, pretty much.
So there are no trolls on YouTube, just message boards.
That's not what I said.
Then what are you saying? That sounds like what you're saying to me.
What are you unclear on? That on YouTube, word has been bastardized and it's thrown around and it's basically become meaningless. That doesn't mean that there aren't actual trolls on YouTube. That doesn't mean that it never applies to anyone on YouTube. It means that it's used with such frequency in so many different cases by so many different people that it's lost. It's pretty much lost any real definition on that site.
Okay, here's your definition from the StraightDope on Trolls, July 14th, 2009. A troll is a person on a forum or a comment board who has the sole motivation of provoking a response. You stand by that definition?
Yes.
Okay. Do you realize that that definition is so narrow that anons who go to some teenage girl's MySpace page and troll her into committing suicide, they're not trolls. They don't qualify. So what would you call people who behave like that? Is there a word for that?
Yeah, those are called harassers.
Okay, and so are you.
How so?
You've got 11 videos about Brett Keane. That's how so.
I've explained why I have 11 videos about Brett Keane.
I don't think he wants more videos from you. I think he was done after one video.
Yeah, they all show me to be a fucking lying, conning piece of shit. Of course he doesn't want them.
What is it called when you subject somebody to repeated interactions that they do not desire? Is it called harassment?
Why are they interactions? I'm broadcasting my own content.
You're broadcasting Brett Keane's content and ridiculing it.
I haven't commented on his channel or any of his videos at all, I don't think, with my username at all. You can't find one. He blocked me because I made a video about him, and I can make videos exposing his lies and his scams, and that's not harassment. That's checking his fucking dishonesty and his theft.
It's not harassment to do it once. To make 11 fucking videos about one guy, I would call that harassment.
Apparently you would, and...
You made an update video when you got a Twitter account saying, come to my Twitter account and you can watch me make fun of Brett Keane in 140 characters or less. That's how you sold your Twitter account. Your whole fucking life is based on making fun of Brett Keane.
My whole life, eh?
Your whole internet life, the one you keep separate from your personal life, yeah.
How is my whole internet life based on making fun of Brett Keane?
I just said, when you announced that you had a Twitter account, you billed it to your subscribers by saying, hey guys, come and watch me make fun of Brett Keane in 140 characters or less. I've got a Twitter now. Come watch me make fun of Brett Keane on Twitter. So apparently your whole life on the internet is about making fun of this one doofy fucking guy.
I like how
and that's not harassment?
I like how you picked out like 3 or 4 jokes that I've made, and you're using them as
you like that? You like that? Well, you know what I like? I like how everything that's not convenient for you is a joke, but everything that is convenient is fucking serious.
Well, if it's not obvious to people that all the things you mentioned were fucking jokes, then I don't know what to tell you, because
yeah, you're just a funny guy.
I think it's obvious.
Jokes, right?
If you want to pretend that you don't get jokes and debate me against them, then that's a fucking schoolyard approach. I mean,
have you ever said anything serious in one of your videos, Dopey?
What?
Have you ever said anything serious in one of your videos, or is it all just a big joke?
Said lots of serious things.
Okay, and how are we to know the difference?
If there's some sort of absurdity that sounds intentional, then that's probably a joke.
But if the absurdity sounds unintentional, then you're being serious? Okay. All right, I'll remember that.
Well, maybe something that I'm serious about sounds absurd to you. That's not
a lot of it
the question, is it?
A lot of it fucking does.
I'm sure it does. The fuck do I care?
It doesn't seem like you do. It doesn't seem like you care about a whole hell of a lot, man.
Not when it comes to your opinions on anything. No, I don't.
Okay. So, out of the 37 videos that you've made to date, and when I give that total 37, I'm including the video where you just announced that you had a Twitter. I'm including the video where you announced this debate, when it was going to be, every insignificant video you've ever made. Out of 37 videos to date, 25 of them, which is 68%, are criticisms of other YouTubers. 11, and that's a full 30%, are about Brett Keane in particular. And for the first year that you were on YouTube, it was 95% criticisms. Do you think that's excessive?
Excessive? In what way?
In what way?
Yeah, what do you mean excessive?
I mean, you don't seem to like to venture any original discussion or substantive content. You like to make your entire fucking... You built your house off other people's fucking popularity. All you do is...
You're building your house off of mine right now.
Oh, touche. Yeah, but you know, the difference is
touché.
I'm not new to YouTube. I was around for years before you showed up.
Yeah, you're just trying to... Now you're trying to launch a new channel off of my back, so how can you criticize me?
Well, maybe I'm justifying doing that because it's what you've done to other people, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Sort of like why I have insulted the appearance of a few select people who have done it to many others.
The difference is you're not vulnerable to such criticisms.
Well, Fakey...
So those two scenarios are not really comparable to one another.
Fakey, I can't launch my channel off of your back now, can I? So it's unfair.
You launched your fucking channel off of my back.
I got that mileage. I can't do it again.
Right. Well, I don't know. I think I'll pass you, but so you might get another opportunity.
Maybe you will. Are you just, like, is this a debate about everything I've done in over 2 years on YouTube? Or, I mean, I thought there was a topic here.
Pretty much.
This is just about everything, anything you want to talk about.
The main focus is cowardice. Like I said it was going to fucking be. But yeah, I have a lot of fucking material to work through here. If you get tired...
I don't think I agreed to being interrogated, per se.
You interrogated Brett Keane for an hour and a half.
He agreed to that format.
It's only 8:56 right now.
Fakey, he agreed to that format.
And you agreed to this fucking format.
I did not agree to a question and answer format. No, I didn't.
What do you think a debate is, Dopey?
A debate is when two people with opposing positions take turns discussing a proposition.
Okay. And that's what we're doing.
Positions. What?
That's what we're doing.
No, you are interviewing me.
Dopey, I get the feeling you're tired of this debate.
I'm just pointing out that I mean, you've prepared a huge questionnaire for me, and you didn't tell me that you would. It's not a huge
questionnaire. You want to know how many questions I have for you? 8.
Yeah. 8 questions?
8 questions.
And which one are we on now?
We are on number 2.
We're still on number 2?
We're still on number 2. Number 2 was when I said, I and many of other YouTubers have been accused of being trolls, but it's not common practice to respond by making a PSA about what it is to be a troll.
Okay, well, you're right. I'm getting tired of this, but...
Okay, well, feel free to rage quit, man.
Go on.
Feel free to rage quit, because I'm not Brett Keane. I think you were expecting to walk over me, and you're starting to get pissed because you're realizing that's not going to happen. So feel free to fucking run your weak ass on out of here.
You want me to so badly.
Anytime you get fucking tired
in the first, Fakey, in the first 5 fucking minutes, you were
because in the first 5 fucking minutes you were already crying.
I was just pointing out.
You were already bitching in the first 5 fucking minutes.
I'm just pointing out that your plan was to interrogate me. That's all, just so that it's clear.
And your plan was to fucking interrogate Brett Keane, and you did it for an hour and a half.
He agreed to be interrogated.
All right. So, do you not agree to this? Do you want to leave?
No, I don't want to leave.
Then shut the fuck up and let me continue.
No, I won't shut the fuck up.
Because all I hear is a bunch of crying.
I'm pointing out that You're interrogating me. That's all. It's not really a debate. You want to play StraightDope against Brett Keane.
And you fucking interrogated Brett Keane.
No, it's cool.
So you're you're fucking taking what you dish out.
So go ahead.
And isn't it a bitch?
You want to play me?
Fucking suck.
Have fun.
I'm having a ball, man. I'm having the greatest time of my fucking life.
I'm doing okay myself, so.
Good. You don't sound like you're doing that okay.
No?
Nope. All right. Now, you seem to have a lot of disdain for vloggers. You have disdain for people that show their faces.
No, what? Evidence.
Oh, I'll give you the evidence.
I have disdain for people who show their face?
I will give you the evidence. Are you going to let me finish?
All right. Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
In your video, e-begging, ads versus donations, you showed a picture of a sign that said, "Don't sit on the crocodiles," and you compared that to showing yourself on camera. So, in other words, making videos that actually show yourself is as stupid as sitting on a crocodile, right?
What exactly did I say when I showed that?
Well, I will find exactly what you said.
Okay.
Since it sounds like you're contesting that point. Okay. Here's what you said. You stated that the reasons for people to maintain their anonymity should be obvious. Mm-hmm. And as you were saying that, on the screen in your video was a picture of a sign. And the sign said, "Please do not sit on the crocodiles."
And you take that to mean that I'm saying that it's stupid to show yourself on video?
You said the reasons to remain anonymous should be obvious.
Should be obvious. Just like sitting on crocodiles is obviously something you should not do.
Right. So in other words...
It's an example of something being obvious.
So in other words...
It has nothing to do with people showing themselves on camera.
Right. So in other words, people who do show themselves on camera are incredibly stupid because they're ignoring that obvious danger.
No. That is not the logical conclusion.
That's not the logical conclusion.
No.
You're saying that it's so obvious that you should be anonymous.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that it should be obvious that there are reasons that some people would want to remain anonymous. A lot of this seems to stem from the fact that you just misunderstand a lot of shit you hear, or you just intentionally want to twist it around. All that is a visual representation of the word obvious.
What are these obvious reasons, Dopey? Career concerns, you're worried that somebody who knows you in person is going to recognize you on YouTube, right?
That's one, yeah.
Let me ask you something, Dopey. You've made it clear in your videos that you're a big YouTube fan. You like YouTube a lot, not just the experience of making videos and watching them, but you like the YouTube corporation. You think they're A-okay.
Okay, what did I say exactly?
You want me to back that up? You want me to back that up? I would be glad to.
No, I know you can back it up. I want to hear what I said exactly. I want you to read that up.
I'll tell you exactly what you said. Tell you exactly what you said, sir. You said, what's great about YouTube is not only that it's the most popular video sharing site on the web, and therefore grants access to the largest web video audience in the world, but also that it provides practically unlimited use to its members for free. And you said that we all have a vested interest in wanting to support the YouTube corporation. You said that.
Did I say the YouTube corporation? I don't think I said those words.
Yes, you did, sir. You said there is one corporation.
I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I think I probably used the word, I don't know, maybe I used the word company. That's what I remember.
Okay. Dopey, the video is called E-Begging Ads versus Donations. You released it on March 29th, 2011, and you said that some people... I'm going to tell you what you said, okay? You said that some people claim that it would be better to make money off videos by soliciting donations directly, in other words, e-begging, than participating in the partnership program and collecting ad revenue. But you said, and the reason that people claim that is because that way they're not supporting greedy corporations. But then you said, and these are your words, you said there's one corporation that we all have a vested interest in supporting, and that's the YouTube corporation. And if you need to fucking go and review that video, you go right ahead, because you fucking said that shit.
Well, I think that's a bit of a paraphrase, but sure, yeah, that's what I said. So what? You disagree?
Well, you've been belaboring the point so long, I lost my train of thought. So give me a second.
You have notes, man.
Yeah, I know it. I'm referring to them right now. I'm not staring at my dick, Dopey. Okay, so here's my point. Since we know you love YouTube so much, let me ask you this. Where would YouTube be if everybody who made videos was like you, considering the fact that you stated in that same video that it's ad revenue that keeps YouTube afloat? You said that's the reason why they can provide the service they do for free. It's the ad revenue. That's what takes care of their overhead and lets them do what they do. Well, look, all of the most popular video producers on YouTube show their faces, without fucking exception, whether it's Fred, whether it's Nigga Higga, whether it's Sexy Phil. They all fucking show themselves. So where would YouTube be, where would your beloved fucking YouTube be, if everybody was as much of a pussy as you were?
Well, okay. Let's say the proposition is that no one is allowed to appear on camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it would probably be where it is now. I don't know.
The proposition is that nobody is allowed to get on camera, and it would be where it is now.
Well, how would this? I don't understand how this hypothetical situation would come about. Basically,
you don't understand how this hypothetical situation would come about. Well, let me explain it to you. It would come about if everybody was afraid to show themselves the way that you are. It would happen if everybody on YouTube was straight dope.
So many people show themselves because they like to.
Mm-hmm.
They like it. And some people, I mean, not everyone, but some people do it because they want to expand their offline social life. That's not what I'm looking to do. Some people even try to get laid, and that's kind of hard to do unless people know what you look like.
Mm-hmm. And some
people will show their faces because they like doing it. Just like people like talking about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, and I have no interest in doing that, and I have no interest in going on camera, and I'm not willing to risk anything in my offline life to do that.
Right. You're not willing to risk anything in your offline life, and not everybody's cut from the same cloth. Some people have different motivations. I understand that, but do you concede the point that if everybody made videos the way you do, without showing themselves, YouTube would fucking collapse? They would lose all their ad revenue, and they wouldn't be able to support their fucking infrastructure on the net anymore. Can you admit that?
Why would they lose all their ad revenue?
What aren't you fucking following here? This is reminding me of the shit that Brett Keane was doing to you when it came to where did he get the name Edward or whatever the fuck it was. I mean, are you being deliberately obtuse here?
No, I'm asking for your explanation, and then I can respond.
Okay, here's my explanation. The most highly subscribed users on YouTube, and hence the ones who generate the most ad revenue for the company, show their faces. If they did not do that, and everybody was like you, just making mashup videos with the pictures that they got from Google image search, the ad revenue would drive up, dry up, people would lose fucking interest, and YouTube would be relegated to the dustbin of internet history. That's my rationale.
So. Have I ever said that people should be anonymous?
Yes.
No, I didn't.
You have said that people should fucking be anonymous.
No, I said that
in
it's
the StraightDope on Trolls, you said,
hey,
don't give in to this bullshit. Don't let people convince you to show your face.
Yeah.
You said the reasons for wishing to remain anonymous are as obvious as the reasons for not sitting on a crocodile.
Yeah. Some people have very good reasons for remaining anonymous. And my video about the word troll was telling people who would prefer to remain anonymous not to forego their anonymity because they're having this word thrown at them all the time. That was the point. I'm not saying that people should not go on camera. I'm saying that it's a justifiable and a reasonable choice to remain anonymous.
Okay,
and
it's a justifiable it's a justifiable choice, and you're not telling people what to do. You're not forcing anybody to be anonymous. Fine, I accept that.
Okay.
But you didn't answer my hypothetical question. What if everybody, for whatever motherfucking reason, did choose to make videos the way you do? What would happen to YouTube?
It may collapse.
It may collapse. Thank you.
Sure. So what? What's that have to do with me? I'm not trying to be a fucking role model of a YouTube video maker.
Good.
Okay, I'm not telling people to do like I do. I'm not saying don't go on camera because it's gonna fuck you up. I don't criticize people on the basis that they show themselves on camera. I don't say this guy's on camera, that's why he's stupid.
Okay. Let's move on to my third. Yeah, my point is moot. Okay, that's fine. Let's move on to my third question here. In your May 20th, 2009 video entitled
I thought we were on the third.
No. In your May 20th, 2009 video entitled The StraightDope on Cody Weber, a.k.a. Saturnine Films, you reason that Cody is a pussy because he constantly tells his audience about his fears, going so far as to suggest that Cody is afraid of the dark because in the video of his that you were criticizing, he said, I don't like nights like the night. So my question to you is this. Who's more of a pussy, the man who lays bare his fears and insecurities to public scrutiny, or the man who is unwilling to reveal even the merest detail of his own persona? That's question number 3.
Well, my main reasoning for Cody being a pussy was that he can't take criticism. The fact that he...
and you can take criticism? You can take criticism, Dopey?
I have not blocked a single person from my channel in over 2 years. That I can't say that much for you or for Cody.
You apparently can't take the kind of physical criticism that you lavish upon people you don't like. You don't want to be called ugly.
Well, that's your interpretation of why I don't go on camera. That is
my interpretation. I think you're an ugly motherfucker.
That you would like out there.
Yeah, you're right. It is my interpretation.
That's fine. It doesn't hold any weight because you don't know one way or the other.
Right. Absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. But look, you said that Cody is a sissy because he tells his audience about his fears. You said that.
Not because he tells his audience about his fears.
That is what you said. Do you want me to read your exact quote?
I said that's why we know that he's a sissy, because he tells us all the time. Not, you're twisting shit again.
I'm twisting shit again.
Yeah. You're
the two most important defining characteristics of this juvenile YouTube atheist are A, he's a leech, B, he's a sissy.
Yes.
And you said that Cody is a leech for e-begging and a pussy because he constantly tells us about his fears in videos.
That is not a direct quote. Why don't you quote?
Why don't you give... If it's incorrect, then you tell me what you said.
Fakey, the way you paraphrased it, it means what you want it to mean, but that's not what I said.
So you don't think there's anything wrong with Cody telling his audience about his fears? And you don't think that makes him a sissy for doing that?
No, it doesn't him telling us about his fears doesn't make him a sissy, no.
Okay, then I concede that one. Let's move on to question 4. Bravo.
Okay.
Question 4. You've stated that you find it distasteful to see YouTubers profiting from their videos when, to quote you directly, the privilege of being able to post videos and have them viewed should be reward enough. And yet, you have since joined the YouTube Partnership Program and have received ad revenue from your own videos. You've also espoused a socially liberal political leanings and have expressed displeasure with double standards regarding women. Yet in FakeSagan Fails, you refer to Ocean Avani as a ditzy, psychotic skank, an unwitting porn skank, and said, well done, FakeSagan, turn a hoe into a housewife. So my question is, would it therefore be unfair to characterize you as a hypocrite who easily abandons his ethics when they become inconvenient?
In what way am I being hypocritical? What were the ethics that I was abandoning?
Well, do you have problems with reading comprehension? I mean, what do you mean in what way are you being hypocritical? What ethic did I abandon? Substance of the question.
What ethic did I abandon, specifically? In calling your ex-girlfriend a hoe?
Well, I'm gonna get to both of those. You said that the privilege of being able to post videos and have them viewed should be reward enough, and you don't like people profiting on their fucking videos, and yet you joined the partnership program, and now you're profiting off your fucking videos.
I didn't say I don't like people profiting off of their videos.
Did you or did you not say the privilege of being able to post videos and have them viewed should be reward enough?
It should, and if I had been denied partnership, I would still be making videos because it is reward enough. But I was lucky enough to be accepted, and now I have a bit of extra incentive to put out content. If it's reward enough,
why don't you send the checks back? If it's reward enough to have your videos viewed by a lot of people, then why don't you send the ad revenue checks back and help YouTube out?
Just because something is sufficient doesn't mean that you wouldn't appreciate a bit of extra, does it?
Okay, fine. You don't. You appreciate a little bit extra. Okay. Now you've espoused liberal political leanings, and you said that double standards about women bother you, and yet you're calling Ocean Avani a skank in videos. Which, by the way, I take it as a compliment that in your first video, and your video about me, FakeSagan Fails, was your first video. You felt it necessary to attack somebody I care about instead of just focusing on me. I take that as a compliment, that there wasn't enough wrong with me, that you had to fucking go after somebody else.
Well, I was.
Do you not see how you abandoned your ethics in that situation? Shall I read you quotes about your feelings about women's rights?
If you want to.
Well, do I need to? Or do you admit that you were a hypocrite in that instance?
Do you have some quotes?
I sure as fuck do.
So why don't we hear them?
Okay, let's hear them. Let's do that.
I like hearing.
You like hearing yourself talk? Oh, I know you do, man. That's fucking obvious.
We all do, don't we? So we're here.
Some more than others, Dopey.
Probably you more than me.
Oh yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Good comeback, man.
The way I see it.
Just the way you see it. Okay. In The Angry Xenophobe, and this is dated May 13th, 2009, you said to the Angry Canuck, and I'm quoting you directly, by the way, and by the way, women are not a minority. However, I'm sure you'd love to turn back time to when they were systemically second-class citizens. They've been the enemy ever since they started demanding equal rights, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was that an empty criticism? Were you just trying to find fault with this guy and not actually expressing beliefs that you hold?
So, because I insulted your girlfriend, I can't believe that women should have equal rights and equal opportunities?
But you insulted her for being a skank, right?
I insulted her for being
that that's the road that you chose to take in insulting her. You used a sexist epithet.
And you use homophobic epithets. So what?
You're right, I do, but I haven't stated to be like I haven't claimed to be this champion of equality.
Oh, so you don't agree with equal rights for homosexuals?
Sure I do.
So then how can you call people faggots?
Well, I don't think I'm setting the cause back that far by using a word.
And am I?
Well, it's the context. You're not just using the word outside of its intended context. See, when I call you a faggot, I know you're not actually gay. I'm calling you a weak-willed fucking person. But when you called fucking Ocean Navani a skank, you were referring to an incident with a fucking In fact, you didn't even just call her a skank. You called her an unwitting skank, which I find to be every bit as retarded as Gary and Mendham calling Judge Melinda Harmon maliciously incompetent. How could somebody be an unwitting skank when the Merriam-Webster dictionary defines skank as a person, and especially a woman, of low or sleazy character? How do you unwittingly have low character?
Jackass, I said unwitting internet porn skank.
Mm-hmm.
She unwittingly ended up on the internet in porn.
Mm-hmm.
So next, I guess.
What does the word skank mean?
What does the word internet porn mean? I mean, the term internet porn and unwitting. Did she intend to have a sex tape on the internet?
So you're going to answer my question with a question rather than answering it?
You just did that to me, didn't you?
When did I do that to you? What are you talking about, Dopey? Are you trying to confuse me?
Is it working?
Not really.
You seem confused.
I'm confused by how you can be such a liar and not expect people to laugh at you.
Wait, liar? How did I lie?
You're pretending that you don't understand how there's a contradiction between you stating that you oppose discrimination and that you're in favor of women's rights, and then on the other hand, you're insulting fucking people who unwittingly had a sex tape about them released by calling them a fucking skank, which is a sexist epithet.
Okay, but you admit that I wasn't calling her...
any contradiction there.
You admit that I wasn't calling her an unwitting skank, right? And that's not analogous to maliciously incompetent.
It sounds a little similar to me.
But now you understand. I mean, now I've clarified what I actually said.
Right, you got to qualify it with porn, or internet porn.
Well, that was my statement.
But you also called her a ditzy, psychotic skank, and you said that before you said unwitting porn skank. You said both of them. You made both statements. Okay, so you don't think it embodies a hypocrisy for you to claim to be somebody who advocates equality for women and women's rights, and yet you're calling somebody a skank, which you would not fucking do if you were showing your face, by the way, because you wouldn't want a statement like that attached to your personality so that every fucking woman with a computer knows you're a cretin and you never get laid again. The only reason you fucking said that shit is because you're anonymous and you know it. But you don't see the contradiction there. You don't see the hypocrisy.
Well, I think you've gone off track a bit. Are you talking about the hypocrisy of
oh my God, Dopey, I'm talking about the hypocrisy of you saying out of one side of your fucking mouth that you support women's rights and equality for women, and out of the other side of your mouth, you're calling Ocean Navani a skank.
I still think that she should have the right to vote and equal civil rights, and she should have an equal opportunity to get a job, and she should be able to move up the ladder in the corporate world. Definitely, whether or not she's a skank.
That's good. I like that. Spoken like a sleazy politician.
Hey, maybe I am a politician. Maybe that's why I don't want to be on camera.
Maybe. I think it's kind of ironic that you talk about what a vlogger's motivation should be when you this altruistic desire to have our videos viewed, and there shouldn't be any kind of profit motive, and e-begging is just wrong. But you don't make vlogs. Do you see anything wrong with that picture, Dopey?
Do you see anything wrong with film critics criticizing movies when they don't make movies themselves?
I sure do. I think film critics are scumbags. I remember when I first saw the StraightDope on trolls, and you said that by the definition of trolling that's become popular on YouTube, every film critic alive would be a troll. And I agreed 100%. They are fucking trolls. I
disagree. I think film critics provide
Didn't Ebert just come out and make fun of Ryan Dunn's death? He basically did that for the lulz. I mean, they are fucking trolls. They're wastes of skin. They have no talent, so they criticize other people's fucking creativity.
Who cares what Roger Ebert did?
Well, he's an iconic film critic, so I'm making a point. I care, Dopey.
Okay.
You see how that works?
I don't see how that lets you generalize all film critics as being disgusting assholes, but okay. Okay, so you don't like film critics. I think that film criticism is a good thing, and it makes people want to make good films because they want good reviews.
This isn't about me not liking film critics. Let's stay grounded here, huh? What I don't like is cowards. I don't like parasites like you.
I think parasites are the ones who want money from their viewers, often on false pretenses, every month or two. I think that's a parasite.
All right. Well, you don't think that you're a hypocrite for taking money for your videos, even though you don't think that other people should do it, huh?
I advocated becoming a partner and getting money that way, and supporting the site that we obviously all want to use, and making some money as well based on how many people want to watch your shit. I think that's perfectly reasonable. I think that's a good system.
In your video debate challenge from April 9th, 2011, you said, "My primary motivation for making videos was never money, which is why I put out videos for a year and a half without making any." Do you expect people to believe that the reason that you went a year and a half without making money off your videos was because you didn't want to, and not because back then you had to meet certain qualifications to join the ad partner program and you were busy getting suspended at the time?
Do you think that the only reason I started making videos is because I wanted to become a YouTube partner, and if I did not become a YouTube partner, I would have quit?
I couldn't guess at your motivations, Dopey.
Isn't that what you're trying to do?
No, I'm trying to call you out on a piece of bullshit.
No, you're trying to contradict what I think. You're trying to contradict
that making money isn't my motivation, and that's why I didn't make any for the first year and a half. But I don't think that's the reason that you didn't make any money for the first year and a half.
Yeah, so you're trying to assert that somehow I was being dishonest. My primary motivation for making videos is to make money. Isn't that what you're doing?
I'm not saying it's your primary motivation, but I'm saying that you're bullshitting us.
What's the argument? Well, then what's the dispute?
The dispute is you're trying to fleece people by saying that you went a year and a half without making ad revenue off your videos for some ethical reason rather than because you couldn't.
No. Again, you're misunderstanding. The fact is, I was making videos, not getting money for it because I had other motivations to do it, and that's why I made them. I didn't need money. I didn't care if I got money. It's cool if I do now, but if I didn't, I would still make videos. So it's not my primary motivation. It's pretty simple.
Let's segue right into question 5, which also concerns e-begging.
Wait, can we pause for a second?
Yeah, sure. Let's pause.
Didn't you recently say that the Amazing Atheist spent all of the free speech donations on himself?
I sure did. Well, I believe that to be the case, yeah.
So he's the one fleecing people.
I feel like I got fleeced. To be honest, I wanted to see free speech vids happen because I had recently been banned from YouTube, and I liked the idea of a place where I could make videos without fear of censorship.
Right, and people trusted him to use their money appropriately,
and he
spent it on whatever the fuck he spent it on.
Right, or the effort just failed. One of the two. Either he betrayed that trust deliberately.
I wonder what his rate was for working on that site.
Either he was malicious or he was incompetent, but not maliciously incompetent. I don't know which one it is, and you don't know which one it is either. I suspect he spent the money on himself, but I can't prove that, and neither can you.
But the problem is that we can't know, right?
We can't know. Yeah, accountability. It does.
And that's the problem with soliciting donations. And get a reason for it, and then not being able to prove that the money went where it was supposed to go.
Yeah,
and it's better to directly receive, in my opinion, it's better to directly receive money based on how much your videos get viewed.
Even though Google gives you a pittance and they rake in like major fucking ducats on ad revenue on your videos, that doesn't bother you at all, that the people actually doing the work are only getting a small share of the profit, whereas the corporate elite are raking in buco bucks. That doesn't bother you at all? Because
like I pointed out, they could just put ads everywhere if they wanted to. They don't have to share anything.
Okay, because I was going to say, for somebody who was a G20 protester in Toronto, you seem to be unusually corporate friendly, if you'll pardon my saying.
Overall I'm not corporate friendly, but I recognize that everyone on YouTube appreciates that they get to use YouTube for free, pretty much on an unlimited basis. It has tons of faults, censorship and everything else. But I'm saying that if there is one company that we want to stay alive, it's the one that we like to use.
Well, I want internet video making to stay alive, but I don't care who's captaining that ship. And it's all in how you look at it, isn't it? I mean, you could say that we have the privilege of using YouTube for free, or you could say that YouTube has the privilege of all this free talent that they're collecting ad revenue on.
Yeah, it goes both ways.
It goes both ways, but I think it goes a little bit more their way than it goes ours.
Well, no company is going to stick around if it doesn't make a profit.
Right, but they're making an exorbitant amount of profit because the ad partnership program gives you cents on the dollar.
No, you get the majority on the dollar.
Is that true? If that's true, yeah. I didn't know that.
You get the majority.
I'll concede that. I'll assume that's true for the sake of argument. I heard that it's a small percentage.
You were a partner. Were you getting?
I was getting
a small
percentage. I wasn't making shit.
You don't know the percentage?
I don't know the exact percentage. They changed it too. That's another thing.
It's the majority.
When I was in the partnership program, I think it was something very low, like 16%.
But like I said, they don't have to give you that option.
They don't have, right, and we don't have to patronize their website and give them this monopoly on internet video making.
Well, we probably still
Power
would.
to the people, Dopey.
We probably still would, for the reasons I listed.
Fuck G20, right? Fuck the police, come straight from the underground. Sorry, Dopey, I'm being silly. Let's go on to question 5 here. In your March 8th, 2010 video entitled The StraightDope on eBay, okay, you argued that atheists on YouTube have a special responsibility to avoid soliciting donations and to criticize other atheists who do so because of the vulnerable, impressionable, and purely hypothetical children who have recently shed their religious upbringings and look to popular YouTube atheists as role models. So in essence, you employed the think of the children argument there. However, when your fans and supporters, who were apparently naive enough to believe that you were being intellectually honest rather than just grasping for a pretext by which to troll the people you don't like, brought it to your attention in a PM that Thunderfoot had begun soliciting donations, you backpedaled, and you began to redefine your position on the issue. In your March 29th, 2011 video entitled E-Begging Ads versus Donations, you mentioned T-Foot only briefly, stating, "To be honest, Thunderfoot's approach was classier than most I've seen. Maybe it's his accent."
Yeah.
And you then spent the rest of the video criticizing two of your familiar targets, Brett Keane and The Amazing Atheist. So here's my question to you, Dopey. Why did you handle T-Foot, a beloved sacred cow of the atheist community on YouTube, with kid gloves, instead of using the same vitriol and petty insults that you lavish on less popular atheists? Is it because you're a lying hypocrite, or because you're a sycophantic pussy? Over to you.
Well, it's because all of my arguments stack upon each other. Everything I said before applies to Thunderfoot as well. Okay? I don't have to reiterate everything I've said previously. I could have not mentioned Thunderfoot, just like I haven't mentioned a lot of other people who have decided to e-beg. I decided to bring him into it because I wanted to throw some criticism his way. And that thing about it being classier than most, I thought his approach was a little better, but that doesn't mean I agreed with it. And my point bringing up Thunderfoot, again, was that he was a partner at this time. He should just be putting ads on his videos and getting what he can get. And then I had a separate point when I was talking about TJ and Brett Keane, which was that there's no transparency or accountability when people are soliciting donations for specific goals.
So all I have to do is tell TJ to start accepting donations for no stated purpose, and that will immunize him to any future StraightDope e-begging criticisms.
No.
No? Then
no.
What are you saying?
That was one section of the argument, saying that especially when they say they want a particular thing, or they want to build a particular site, and you give them a bunch of money and you have no idea where that money goes, I'm saying that that is one problem with these e-beggars asking.
But how do you know where Thunderfoot's money goes?
I don't.
You don't, right? But when The Amazing Atheist e-begs, he's a leech. And when Brett Keane e-begs, he's a parasite. And when Mannix the Pirate and Cody Weber e-beg, they're fucking babies. They're beggars. And yet when Thunderfoot e-begs, he's classy.
His e-begging was framed classier. That's all I meant. It's no better. I don't think it's any better than anybody else's.
Right. But you stated that atheists not only have a responsibility not to e-beg, but they have a responsibility to call out other atheists who do. And you didn't call out fucking Thunderfoot. You mentioned him in the first 30 seconds of that video, and then you spent the rest of the time talking about TJ and Brett Keane. And when you did briefly mention Thunderfoot, you said his approach was classy. That's what you consider calling somebody out?
The fact that I included him in the video was calling him out in a way. And the reason I spend more time on Brett Keane and TJ is because they are notorious fucking offenders, and I know that they have misappropriated money they've been given, and that they've asked for frivolous things and haven't necessarily spent the money on those things. Thunderfoot had just started taking donations, and I said that a better way, if he wants to make money off of his channel, he has a lot of viewership, and he was already a partner. He could have just started putting ads on his videos. That was my point about Thunderfoot. And anything else that I said about e-begging in general applied to Thunderfoot as well, and applies to anyone else who does it.
Do you think of Thunderfoot as a fixture in the atheist community? Somebody who people look up to and respect?
Sorry, say that again?
Do you think of Thunderfoot as a fixture in the atheist community who people look up to and respect?
A lot of people seem to, yes.
Okay, So you don't think he's abusing a position of trust? What about the children, Dopey?
I think, of course, I think he is. Like I said, all of those other statements apply to him as well.
Okay, all right. I think you handled him with kid gloves. For the same reason that you did in your video lecture on tolerance, because Thunderfoot is a popular community-oriented atheist, and you didn't want to piss into the wind. You know, you like easy targets, like the amazing atheist and Brett Keane. Even when somebody like Thunderfoot is doing the same exact fucking thing that you criticize them for, you're going to treat him differently.
The reason I made that video the way I did was because there had already been maybe 100 videos in the week or so prior, picking apart like 2 videos he had made. So I singled out the point I had a problem with, and I made a video on that. That's something I've thought for a long time, and I had an opportunity to address it because of him. So
it just surprises me that you handled it so delicately. For someone who said there's a different dynamic to consider in the YouTube atheist community. The U.S., which is where most, if not all, YouTube e-beggars reside, is one of the most religious countries in the world. Millions of children are born and raised in religious families and in towns where the church is the center of the community, and the pressure to conform is overwhelming. Naturally, as some of these kids get older, they'll begin to question what they've been taught. They may even reject it completely, but expressing their doubts openly could lead them to being ostracized by their friends, punished by their parents, and in some cases even disowned by their families. That's serious stuff, StraightDope. So they get on the internet in search of alternative viewpoints to those that surround them. Some even find a haven in the YouTube atheist community, where people openly discuss atheism and challenge the ideology of theists and religious institutions.
Are we going to see some Google images with this, or are you just going to read it all?
You don't like this, do you? You want me to stop reading, don't you?
Oh, it's fine. Go on.
Okay. Some of the personalities they encounter will be more popular and influential than others, like Thunderfoot. And it's perfectly natural for young minds brought up in patriarchal systems to look to some of these people as leaders or even heroes. And keep in mind that they've been raised to believe that giving monetary donations to their philosophical leaders is normal. These popular YouTubers, therefore, have responsibility to show more integrity than their religious counterparts and not take advantage of youthful minds in the vulnerable process of re-examining their worldview. That's some pretty strong sentiment right there, StraightDope. I'm surprised you didn't rip Thunderfoot a new one when he started accepting donations, e-begging as you call it.
So a lot of atheists have started doing that, and I ignored them because I already stated how I felt about it. And every subsequent video on e-begging I made, I was stating brand new points. Pretty much. I was taking different angles, and I was expanding on what I had said.
You continue to save your harsh criticisms for your familiar fucking whipping boys, like Brett Keane and the Amazing It's not like you softened your position on e-begging. Your audience PM'd you saying, hey, Thunderfoot's e-begging. You said you hate it when atheists do that. Get him, get him, get him. So you mentioned it briefly for 30 seconds in the video, and then you spent the other 5 minutes of the video talking about TJ and Brett Keane.
So what's your problem?
My problem is that you've got a double standard in how you fucking apply your ethics. And you're more likely to apply your ethics harshly to people that are fucking unpopular in the atheist community than you are to people who have a big following, because you don't want to be ostracized by the atheist community.
Are you saying that TJ isn't popular in the atheist community?
Yeah, I am saying that TJ isn't popular in the atheist community. He's popular on YouTube, but most people in the atheist community think that he gives atheism a bad name.
Oh, okay. I took you to mean the YouTube atheist community.
I'm talking about the YouTube atheist community.
So then what the fuck are you talking about? TJ is way more popular than Thunderfoot in the YouTube atheists community.
Your ethics to people that are easy targets.
TJ is more popular than Thunderfoot.
Mm-hmm. But not within the atheist community, only on YouTube at large.
I thought that's what we were talking about. That's what you said we were talking about. Okay, do you
understand that there's an atheist community on YouTube, and then there's the larger YouTube community in general, and those are two separate things.
You just said we were talking about the YouTube atheist community. That's what I took you to mean when you said atheist community earlier, and I clarified that, and you said, yes, that's what we're talking about.
Okay, you know what? I think that anybody who's watching this can see what you're doing, and that'll be apparent when it's uploaded to YouTube. So I'm satisfied. I'm ready to move on. You're evading the fucking point. You're playing stupid because you don't want to address what I'm saying here. You're pretending that you don't understand.
I'm not pretending I don't understand. I understand. I thought we were talking about the YouTube atheist community. You are saying that Thunderfoot is more popular, apparently, in the atheist community at large. I'm not sure what you based it on. I guess maybe because of the interviews he gets. I don't know.
I'm saying that while the Amazing Atheist may be a more popular YouTuber,
yes,
Thunderfoot is a more popular YouTube atheist. He's more popular in the atheist community that you consider yourself a part of. And therefore, you were reluctant to criticize him, the same atheist, because you didn't want some of your audience to turn on you.
I don't know. I consider...
Okay, then we disagree. Fine.
I consider TJ to be
I'm just relieved that you're not playing fucking dumb anymore. Fine, we can disagree. Just don't play fucking stupid.
I wasn't playing stupid.
Fucking unbelievable, man.
Okay, so what would you have liked me to say to Thunderfoot?
I would have liked to see you tell Thunderfoot that he's a pathetic leech, the same way you do to fucking Brett Keane, the Amazing Atheist, Mannix the Pirate, and Cody Weber.
But wait a second. I didn't call Mannix the leech. I didn't criticize Mannix rebegging specifically. And all of these people are not equal. I do not see Thunderfoot on the same level as those people when it comes to e-begging. I don't. Now, the generalizations I made about atheist e-begging still apply. They apply to all of them who do that, but that doesn't mean that Thunderfoot is equal to TJ and Brett Keane and Cody Weber and deserves the exact same criticism.
So Thunderfoot's e-begging is not as bad as TJ and Brett's e-begging. That's what you're saying.
He hasn't shown himself to be as dishonest or greedy as they have yet.
Right.
That doesn't mean I approve of what he's doing.
Instead of telling you what he wants money for and then actually spending it on something different for himself, he just doesn't tell you what he wants the money for. So he's spending it on himself to begin with. At least he's being honest about what he's doing. That's your rationale?
Well, I don't see... His e-begging was extremely new, and I haven't seen him making constant pleas to his audience. I mean, he did a couple times, and obviously I didn't like that. Mm-hmm. But mostly it's a link on his page. A lot of people have that. I don't like it. But what I really, really dislike is people every few months making a case to their audience about why they need more money, and then appearing to be dishonest afterwards, which is TJ and Brett Keane and Cody Weber more than anybody else, which is why I've criticized them much more harshly.
Okay, so T-Foot is new to the game. He's a newcomer. He's dabbling his toes in the e-begging pond. And 2 years from now, if he's still doing it, I can expect to see you trolling the fuck out of him and calling him a parasite, right?
Maybe.
Okay. All right. I'll look forward to that video, Dopey. I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll fucking see. We're on to question 6. You're almost fucking out of the woods here, and then you can ask me anything you fucking want. By the way, I'm not going to rage quit. In your September 14th, 2009 video entitled "The Straight Dope on the Woods of Jordan," you stated, "Now I don't plan on doing many videos focusing on religion and atheism, because there are plenty of people doing that already and doing a good job of it. And yet, there were already plenty of people doing a good job of exposing Brett Keen's lies before you added your voice to the chorus. You even made specific references to the contributions of Judalicious. In your November 11th, 2009 video entitled FakeSagan Fails 2, you stated, and you were referring to the 666 fundraiser event in which I waved the gun around and cut myself and had all that good fun.
Yeah, acted like an asshole.
Right. Acted like an asshole. You stated that by now, most of you have probably seen these segments that have been reproduced on YouTube about 6 times. But now it's time for the StraightDope.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you respond to the assertion that you deliberately choose popular talking points which you already know in advance will be well received by the audience rather than venturing substantive original discussion? And furthermore, would it be fair to assume that the real reason you've avoided producing original content is not because there are a lot of people doing that already and doing a good job of it, but rather because you lack the intelligence and the creativity to bring something original to the table, and have opted instead to leech off the popularity of established YouTubers with your constant criticisms?
Let's see, which part of that paragraph do I start with?
I don't know. Do you need me to handhold through it?
How about I start with
give you the Cliff Notes version.
How about I start with you misconstruing what I was saying once again, which you've been doing this entire time. You've been taking these small statements and you've been misconstruing them.
Every time I say something that you don't like, I'm misconstruing it, right?
No, you've either purposely misconstrued shit that I've said, or you really don't understand, which shows your deficient intellect, basically. I mean,
wait,
what did
whoa, hold the fucking phone. So yeah. I'm purposely misconstruing your statements because of my deficient intellect, so I'm maliciously incompetent. That's what you're saying?
No, again, you've misunderstood what I just said. This is pathetic, man. Okay. I said either...
This is pathetic. Hey. All right.
What?
Go on. You were telling me how I purposely misconstrue what you say because I have a deficient intellect, right?
No. I said either you purposely misconstrue what I've said, or you actually
misunderstood
because of a intellect.
Okay. So which one do you think it is? Am I doing it on purpose or am I just intellectually deficient?
Well, based on the fact that you just misunderstood a very simple
Well,
idea.
you know, I mean,
I have to say deficient intellect.
I might have misheard you, Dopey. You know, there's a couple balls in play here.
Possible.
But hey, fine, if that's what you think.
I'll make my own judgment based on what I witnessed.
So I have a deficient intellect. You like to pick on retards? That's your idea of a good time?
You challenged me to this.
After you made 2 videos about me. And 11 videos about Brett fucking Keen. Now, there's a deficient intellect, whether I am or not. There's no question there. I think he probably has some kind of genuine mental problem, because the guy seems to be a fucking pathological liar. He'll
I agree.
piss down your fucking leg and tell you it's raining. And you've made a fucking career out of tormenting this guy. I think that says a lot about you.
What I've done is try to keep people from falling into his trap.
Right. You're the Ralph Nader of fucking YouTube. You're the YouTube police that protect consumers, right? And that's your idea of consumer protection is making 11 fucking videos about Brett Keen. You know, don't set your sights higher. Don't take on the insurance agency or the insurance industry or you know, don't take on Ponzi scams. Like, it's Brett Keen, right? He's the one that you really need to protect the children from, right? He's the big threat.
Well, Brett Keen...
You're just a consumer fucking protection advocate on YouTube, right?
No,
Should we get you a
Brett
badge,
Keen carved out a special spot on my channel when he DMCA'd me 3 times. So he asked for that shit. And generally consumers get a product when they give their money over. They don't give someone else a fucking Xbox. But whatever.
So his videos are not a product. The entertainment that he provides is not a product. I wonder what Google would have to say about that. I wonder if YouTube thinks that videos are a product and a commodity.
It's not. It's basically a public resource when someone uploads it.
A public resource that they collect ad revenue on.
Sometimes they do, yeah.
You're one in a million, Dopey. I love it.
Okay. So you said that I made my FakeSagan Fails 2 video while people had uploaded the same shit a dozen times or whatever, right?
No, I didn't say that, Dopey.
What did you read it again?
You said that in FakeSagan Fails 2.
I know.
Said that there's already been a bunch of people uploading this shit, but now I'm going to chime in. And I think it's funny that somebody who calls Cody Weber and Mannix the Pirate leeches because they got most of their subscriptions from TJ, according to you. You pick these pre-packaged videos that you already know are going to be popular. You know, you didn't have one fucking original criticism of Brett Keane besides the fact that he DMCA'd you 2 years ago. Everything else was done for you already. Judalicious exposed him for plagiarizing that poem, and you just fucking you plagiarized Judalicious.
Plagiarized Judalicious?
That's right.
How do you figure that?
Well, she exposed Brett Keane for plagiarizing the poem, and then you used that video, and then you're the one exposing Brett Keane and getting subscriptions from doing it. It wasn't original detective work on your part. It was done for you.
Did I pretend
there were already 50 fucking videos of 666 up on YouTube before you made FakeSagan Fails Volume 2. I'm saying you're a fucking leech and you're fucking unoriginal.
Did I pretend that I had exposed him, or did I reference Judalicious and give her credit?
The point is, it was done
No, the point
for
is that you're full of shit because there's no plagiarism if you give the person credit.
But there's no original fucking content.
There's no plagiarism.
There's no original fucking content either.
There's no plagiarism.
There's no work on your part.
You're full of shit.
You essentially mirrored Judalicious' video and added some fucking flavor to it.
I used a short clip of it, and I talked about the event of her exposing him and how he reacted to it, and I credited her for what she did.
But you call yourself the guy who exposes Brett Keane's lies, and you talk about how it's your fucking job to expose Brett Keane. So shouldn't you be exposing Brett Keane on your own rather than fucking reposting other people's shit?
Hey, I was exposing his lies about that event as well as others, so it was totally... And it's not plagiarism, right? It's not plagiarism. So you're full of shit.
I'm full of shit.
Is it plagiarism?
By your definition, no. Apparently.
By the real definition, no. By any definition, it's not plagiarism.
I see it as plagiarism.
Well, you're
when you fucking use
shit.
When you fucking use somebody else's work and take credit, and you didn't you might have mentioned Judalicious' fucking name. You might have done that, but she's not even on YouTube anymore. And here you are fucking raking in subscriptions on something that she did. Now you might have given her credit, but you're still fucking profiting off somebody else's originality and somebody else's fucking efforts. So I think the spirit of fucking plagiarism is implied there. But we can fucking argue that.
Wait, have you ever read a fucking academic book in your life?
Sure.
Well, they're fucking full of quotes from other works.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Of all kinds of people, historians, philosophers, whoever. Just because that's incorporated
but what about a book that's nothing but
doesn't make it plagiarism. It credit the person.
That would be you.
What?
What about a book that's nothing but citations with no original fucking content? That's what I see you as. Dopey.
Well, you're wrong.
Okay, well I'm wrong. That's just my opinion, man, right?
Well, you're reading my words, so you're obviously wrong because I said those things myself. And I organized those ideas myself. And I put the video together myself. so there's no plagiarism.
Well, if I just download one of your videos, StraightDope, and re-upload it to fucking YouTube, then I uploaded it myself, right? I mean, it's such a cheap way of evading the point.
No, your point is ridiculous. If you download my video and you read it and say it's yours, that is plagiarism and copyright violation. If I take a book and I republish it without authorization, that is a copyright violation. But I created original videos that no one else has created, and I have incorporated other things people have done. That doesn't mean that it's entirely unoriginal.
Dopey, if you say so. If you don't feel that's plagiarism, I'll concede the point and let's move on. Number 7. We're almost
hold on a sec.
Yeah, sure.
I hate to pull a Brett Keane, but I gotta piss.
Oh yeah? Well.
All right, I'll be back.
That's not pulling a Brett Keane as long as you come back.
I'll be right back.
All right. Have a good one though. Don't forget to wash your hands. So how you guys doing tonight? This is the first time I've taken a look at the fucking chat section. You got a piss too, Firewall? I'm having fun with this. I think I'm going to do more debates. Well, there will be differing opinions on that, Bloody Chunks. Debates like this, the people, you're not going to change anybody's mind. The people that liked StraightDope before the debate are going to like him after the debate, and the people that liked me before the debate are going to like me after the debate. It's really kind of an exercise in futility, but I'm having fun, so that's all that really matters. And, there's the little matter of 1,000 new subscriptions. Yeah, honey. So. Hypocrite! You like subscriptions, and you insulted him for liking subscriptions. Hypocrite! See what you did there. Maybe it's a little bit more nuanced than that, though. Maybe. This isn't really as simple as you're trying to portray it. How was the drink? You had one glass of water, you've had them all. I think it's funny that so many people like to focus on the fact that I drink a lot when I'm making videos. He's always got a drink in his hand. What is that? I get thirsty when I talk. Happen to anybody else? Am I the only one? Really? I guess I'm just a dry-mouthed freak. Get my gat? I don't think that'll be necessary. Unless we break out the Everclear. Fortunately, I don't have any, so antics tonight. But 666 won't be the last time you see me doing some shit like that. You can count on that. Stay tuned. You guys like my tie? No? You don't like it, Piro? Well,
Alright, back.
I like it. Hey, Dopey, I missed you.
And my bladder was full of beer. I'm fresh now.
Your bladder is full of beer? Are you drinking?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's Canadian summer, man. It's like a rule.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not allowed in Canada, Dopey. It's supposed
probably
not
for
to
the
let
best.
the shit. Yes, it probably is for the best. I mean, you know, I don't know if I would like all the donuts and Kraft dinner and Canadian Tire. It just seems like I don't even consider it travel. Like it's the homogenous culture. You haven't really left the United States when you go to Canada. You have to deal with the bullshit of going through customs inspections and shit, and you're essentially in the 51st state of the Union. The way I look at it, I'm sure you
Wait
know.
a second. You know, whatever to everything else you said, but you can't not like Canadian Tire. Everyone likes Canadian Tire.
I love Canadian Tire, man. I have some Canadian Tire money, actually.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Can't hate on Canadian Tire.
No, I would never do that, Dopey. All right. And FakeSagan fails too.
Wait.
Yeah.
Sorry. Is this the same question you asked before?
This is question number 7, man. We're in the home stretch.
I still wanted to address that point you made about what I said in FakeSagan Fails Volume 2, when I said that this clip has been uploaded a dozen times.
Okay, address it. Yeah, sure.
And you used that to assert that I was recycling something, basically, knowing that it would be popular. And so something other people had mirrored, I just rolled with it, right?
Yeah, that's basically what I'm saying.
But what I said in the video was that I was referring to one specific clip of you tongue-kissing DJ, which had been uploaded a whole bunch of times. No one had encapsulated the entire, hours-long event and summarized
there was no blood
and
no,
documented it and commented on it, which
scrotum,
is what I did.
And
what?
There were no firearms and bloodshed and exposed scrotum videos on YouTube before you made FakeSagan Fails Volume 2. If that's true, then I'll concede the point. I thought that shit was already up there before you made the video.
What I said in that video was that the clip that's been uploaded the most was you making out with TJ, among other clips, like you having a gun to your head and saying, "Donate $150 right fucking
or you
now."
will watch me die. Yeah.
Exactly. But that was the one that was uploaded the most. And that's exactly what I said. And then I made a video summarizing and documenting the entire thing with my commentary. So I didn't do something unoriginal.
I like the retarded voice too. I see what you did there. Donate $450. That's
appropriate, isn't it?
Not really. It seems kind of cheap to me. But
weren't you acting in a retarded fashion?
I was acting drunk. But
that's how you drunk.
Actually,
that's a fucking train wreck.
But Dopey, that's what question 7 concerns. I mean, I'm actually going to end up addressing all of your criticisms of me through these questions.
That's exciting.
It should be. I'm glad you think so. By the way, did you notice I've still got the scar from that night?
I
right there.
did not notice.
There it is. There it is.
Is that a scar that you're proud of?
Absolutely.
Are you proud of pulling a knife on your best friend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who
then
got hurt besides me?
What?
Did you not hear what I said?
No, I didn't.
Who got hurt besides me?
I think a lot of people in the room were terrified.
That's
emotional pain.
Your opinion, man.
It was evident.
It was evident, right?
A
lot of things are just evident for you without actual evidence, aren't they?
No, nothing's evident without evidence. You were hovering over.
For you, they are.
Okay, it's evident by how many people tried to get that gun away from you and how many people were concerned that you were pointing it at them, and how when you held a knife over your supposed best friend, he shriveled up into a little ball, and his voice turned into a squeak, and he gave you the information you wanted.
Oh, good times. Good times. I wish I could.
All right, if that's your idea of a good time, I think that.
Yeah, you might not want to come visit my house anytime soon, Dopey. I've got.
So your response to your behavior is, yeah, that's a regular Friday night for me, playing with my gun, calling everyone pussies, and talking about shooting the neighbors,
that's how I roll,
and
man.
then pulling knives on my friends.
And Everclear. Yeah. That's how I do it. Scary, huh? Can I move on now? Or do you want to... There's something else you wanted to ask me? Rage quit? Oh. We are the champions, my friend. I think he might be trying to call me back. Let me see what's going on here. Yeah, I think the call did drop. I'd love to declare victory, but that would be dishonest.
What happened?
I don't know. It looks like the call crapped out on us. I assure you it was nothing intentional.
Looks like you won't get that rage quit badge.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll see. I still got 2 questions to go, right? Maybe the next one will be the one that pushes you over the edge. Keep drinking, Dopey.
I will.
All right, good. Chug those Molsons, man. Maybe
I don't drink Molson. That shit's fucking crap. That's piss.
All right. That's just the stuff you guys send down here to us.
Yeah, because it's better than the shit that you guys make.
Labatt, what are you drinking? What are you drinking?
I'm drinking some Bavaria Holland.
Oh, that faggy fucking microbrewery shit, man. Come on. You drink like that? Really?
It's better than domestic.
I guess I'm not really surprised. It wouldn't surprise me if you said Zima.
If I said what? Zima?
Yeah.
Better than boxed wine any day.
Yeah, but, you know, hey, that reminds me, where did you get that boxed wine thing from? You said, in FakeSagan Fails that I'm an ugly and boring, pretentious, boxed wine drinking folk. Where'd you get the boxed wine from? What makes you think I'm drinking boxed wine?
I have my sources.
You have your sources? What's the source on that? Some troll that said, oh, FakeSagan drinks boxed wine?
Nah, I pulled it out of my ass.
You pulled it out of your ass. Okay, all right.
I assumed.
All right. You're wrong, but okay.
That's okay. It's still funny.
You know, and don't get me wrong here, Dopey. I'm not claiming that I have like some 100-year-old Dom Perignon fucking champagne in a wine cellar in my house or anything. But I generally don't drink box wine. I think that stuff kind of sucks.
Of course it sucks. That's why I said it.
Yeah, right. Anyway, can we move along now, or do you want to talk more about my beverage preferences? You there, Dopey? God damn it again. I think we're experiencing technical difficulties. You there? StraightDope. Wasn't done playing with you. He's having internet problems. He was offline for a second and he just came back. So.
Hello?
Hey! Alright.
Shit's pretty dodgy.
Yeah, this shit is getting dodgy, so I think I'm gonna get the ball rolling here before you lose your internet connection. Here's number 7, okay? In FakeSagan Fails Volume 2, you said that I was an insecure tough guy, and you took objection to my... Is he off again? Are you off? Did you just lose the call again? No, you're
here,
right there.
as far as I know.
Okay, I heard a noise. All right. You said I was
You want me to try to interrupt you, or?
No, that's fine. That's fine. You said I was an insecure tough guy, and you took objection to my speech pattern and mannerisms, saying, at what point did you start to believe that you're a black man from South Central L.A.? Yet in your July 8th, 2009 video, Back in Action, you began and ended the video with the sound of gunshots, with the gangsta rap track Made You Look by Nas playing throughout, and the text read, I will give you a word of advice, Brett. Think twice before you let another lie slip through your lips. In fact, avoid lying at all costs, because I'm watching you. And every time you try to bullshit your viewers, I'll be there to expose your lying ass as the sack of shit that you are. You asked for it, and now you got it. Tread lightly, asshole. So, who's the insecure tough guy that thinks he's a black man from South Central LA?
Well, let me point out that you're the one who added that inflection.
I added the inflection. Well, let me read it in a sober tone.
Now, I did use a hip hop. Hey! Don't interrupt me.
Okay.
I did use a hip hop song at the beginning of that video. That's a good song. I like hip hop. Doesn't mean
I do too.
I say nigga every 3 words.
Well, I only do that when I'm drunk, my nigga. But you know, I added the inflection, but okay, let me read it in the sober tone of voice. Okay. In fact, avoid lying at all costs, because I'll be watching you, and every time you try to bullshit your viewers, I'll be there to expose you as the lying sack of shit you are. You've asked for it, and now you've got it. Tread lightly, asshole. Even if I read that in a subdued tone, that's still some tough fucking talk from a guy that doesn't show his face, isn't it? Are you being a little bit of an insecure tough guy there, Dopey?
Well, you already established earlier that talk led to action.
I established that talk led to action?
Yeah, you basically outlined the proportion of my total videos that was dedicated to Brett Keane.
Oh, so right. Yeah, sure. Oh, sure. You followed through. But there was plenty of action in 666 too. There was plenty of action that fucking
You're not full of shit.
I'm just saying, it's funny to listen to accusations of tough guyism from you, because you seem to exhibit a fair bit of that yourself. You
said there was insecurity in there. Where'd you find that?
I think the insecurity is implied in the tough guyism, and also in the fact that you're unwilling to appear on camera.
Well, I would say that the tough talk led to exactly what I said it would, and as far as not appearing on camera, I think we've already covered that. You can assume that it's insecurity. You can assume whatever you like. I don't care. I have my own reasons, and that's where it stays.
Okay, so by following through with the tough talk and actually acting like a tough guy, that makes it okay.
I didn't say I acted like a tough guy. I said that I acted in the way I said I would.
Okay. But don't you think it's a bit hypocritical for a guy that talks like that on the internet to call somebody else an insecure tough guy when really there's a little bit of the insecure tough guy in you? In fact, a lot of the insecure tough guy in you.
I called you an internet tough guy, right? Not a tough guy.
And I'm calling you one. I don't think
you're
tough in real life.
You're making it sound like I called you a tough guy. I'm not saying. I never said
Bavarian microbrew. I don't think you're a tough fucking guy.
I never said.
Tough guys drink fucking PBR and they chew on nails and they get in the barroom brawls, man. They'll sit around in Skype conversations drinking Bavarian ale. I didn't say that you were a tough guy. I said that you're being a hypocrite for calling me an internet tough guy when that's what you fucking obviously are. That's all I'm saying, though.
Why am I an internet tough guy?
Oh,
I'm not the one who. Hold on. I'm not the one who flashes weapons around. I'm not the one who puts fists up to the camera and talks about punching people, etc. Challenges people to boxing matches. I'm not the one who talks about shooting neighbors. I'm not the one who puts my fist in Galen's face and says, "I'm gonna knock you out."
No, you're not the one that talks about. You're not the one that talks about shooting neighbors. You're the one that talks about calling the FBI and informing the IRS about somebody's internet activities, like you did to fucking Brett Keane. You're not the tough guy who takes care of his own fucking problems. You're the tough guy who wants other guys with guns to fucking do it for him. That's just an ideological difference. It doesn't make you less of a tough guy than I am. It just means that I like to do my own dirty work, whereas you like to drop a dime to the fucking feds and threaten somebody that way. Right?
What would be my own dirty work with Brett Keane? Do you want me to fucking do you want me to fly to fucking Missouri with my fucking cheap ass 9 and knock on his door and point it at him? Like, what the fuck? He threatened me with legal action. He threatened me with legal action, and I responded in kind. And I said, well, maybe there's legal action I can take, whereas you have none. So what do you mean taking it into my own hands? He's defrauding government organizations as far as
I mean, you're on the fucking internet making threats.
What?
I mean, you're on the internet making threats, Dopey. Who cares what form that threat takes? It's still tough guyism. Whether you're threatening to call the fucking cops on somebody or threatening to kick somebody's ass your fucking self, it's still tough guyism.
No, it's reciprocity when somebody does it to me first.
Reciprocity. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So here's one you might enjoy. You said that You said that I flexed my pale little Irish nuts. Now, why would someone who denounces discrimination point out that my pale little nuts are Irish? Especially considering that the Irish have a long and bloody history of discrimination in Europe, the U.S., and Canada. Why was that necessary?
I guess I missed something. Have the Irish had their nuts criticized throughout the ages because they're pale and little? I guess I missed that particular
that's a cheap
derogatory
fucking cop-out, Dopey. Come on, really?
Well, your question's fucking bullshit. How do you want me to respond to that?
My question's bullshit. My question's not bullshit.
Discrimination.
Look, my question is not bullshit. You're ridiculing me, and your statement includes my ethnicity. Yet you're somebody who claims to be opposed to fucking discrimination. So why did you feel the need to single out my ethnicity?
Is this your last question?
We're getting there. We're not quite to question number 8 yet, but you're skirting the point here. You're avoiding the issue.
Is this like 7.7 or something? Like, how many sub questions do you have?
Is that your way of just like avoiding responding to the question? Like, what are you playing here, dude? Why did you feel it was necessary to throw in the fact that I'm Irish?
No,
You're opposed to discrimination, right?
I'm genuinely interested in the format and how many sub questions I can expect. Maybe.
Do you want to look at my notes here?
Parts,
Look,
and
here's question number 7. Here's question number 8. You're almost there, but you're still not answering my fucking question, Dopey. Are you gonna address this shit?
Me saying that you flexed your pale little Irish nuts,
right.
Whether or not that's discriminatory to Irish people.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, Dopey.
Okay. Well, my statement was.
Look.
It was entirely exclusive to you. I have no idea what other Irishmen's nuts look like. Mm-hmm. All I know is you're Irish, your nuts are pale, and they're little, and you flex them. All right? So there's your answer. I'm not generalizing to the nuts of all Irish people. I swear I would never do something like that. I have no prejudice about the nuts of Irish people. You can rest assured that I did not assume your nuts are small and pale just because you're Irish. You put them in my face and I described them.
Okay, well, I didn't put
yes,
them
I
directly
am
in your face. You chose to watch the video. You put them in your own face. You're a nut peeper, man. You knew what to expect.
You stuck them in the camera. I watched the recording, and all of a sudden, your nuts were in the camera.
You didn't know to expect a pair of nuts?
I commented on. I'm sorry for describing the nuts, and I'm sorry that I called them Irish.
You said that my nuts are little. It's not pertinent to the question or anything, but I gotta wonder how big your fucking nuts are. They're apparently not big enough to give you the courage to show yourself on camera. Are my nuts really little? I've never gotten a complaint about my balls before. Are you swinging some grapefruits, man? I mean, like, talk to me.
I could be.
Yeah, really? I don't think so.
Maybe that'll be my on-camera debut. Just my nuts.
All right. But look.
I'll tell you the scale. So you can pull out a ruler and you can figure out exactly.
Okay, yeah, we'll do. Yeah. Get one of those tailor's tape measures that you can wrap around your balls to get the circumference or something. Okay, now look. In responding to Brett Keane in the DMCA, this is May 26, 2009, you said, I advocate secularism and denounce discrimination. So that's a core tenet to your personality. That's part of your credo of ethics, of what you're about, is you denounce discrimination. So why did you feel the need why did you feel the need to throw in the fact that I'm Irish? Why couldn't you just talk about my pale little nuts? Why'd you have to throw Irish in there?
Discrimination is acting upon bias, okay? It's not pointing out somebody's heritage while describing their testicles. Discrimination is choosing not to give someone a job because of a prejudice or your bias, or choosing not to serve somebody in your restaurant. That's what discrimination is. It's an action based on prejudice and bias. And I didn't do that. I described your testicles.
So
you didn't like my description.
Oh, okay. Well, then we might just have our definitions crossed here. So you don't consider it discrimination for me to call somebody a money grubbing Jew or something like that. Discrimination is just what you do. If I refuse to serve Jewish people in my restaurant, then I'm discriminating, but not if I toss out racial epithets or single out somebody.
I believe that's an accepted definition. I mean,
okay,
if you say something to somebody, it's not discrimination. It's just whatever, racism or prejudice or whatever. It's not discrimination.
Point conceded, Dopey. All right.
Okay.
You also said in FakeSagan Fails 2 that my drunkenness is no excuse for my overinflated ego, my rudeness, my hostility, and dangerous behavior. And yet, I gotta wonder, you're drinking right now, so I know you're not entirely unfamiliar with the effects of alcohol, Dopey, but the symptoms that you described actually perfectly match the clinical definition of the effect of alcohol intoxication. And here's the webmd.com definition. Ethanol produces
very credible website, by the way.
Because of its depressive effects on various areas of the brain, causing these impairments in a progressive order as the person gets more and more drunk. Disinhibition of normal social functioning, causing erratic behavior, excessive talking, and showing off. Loss of memory, confusion, disorientation, uncoordinated movement, progressive lethargy, coma, and ultimately the shutdown of the respiratory centers, resulting in death. So, were you wrong to make that statement?
Oh?
No? Because it sounds to me like drunkenness is the perfect excuse for, what were your exact words here? For an overinflated ego, rudeness, hostility, and dangerous behavior. Sounds like a perfect excuse.
If you want to use that excuse, I guess you can, but I don't think it's legitimate. I mean, most people, when they get drunk, they don't play with loaded guns, and they don't pull knives on their friends. That's just
most
fact.
People don't get as drunk as I do, Dopey.
Okay.
But the point
a lot of people
is,
do, and they don't act the way you did.
The point is, your statement that my drunkenness is no excuse for overinflated ego, rudeness, hostility, and dangerous behavior would seem to imply that I act that way all the time, whether I'm drunk or not.
No, I imply that those elements are disproportionately in your character all the time, and they're not necessarily
in my character.
Correct.
What does that mean?
What do you think that means?
I don't know.
Your personality. I think you do have an overinflated ego, and I think you're very insecure.
I think we both have overinflated egos, but I think you're more insecure than I am because I'm on camera. That's just my opinion, I know, but I'm sailing it out there.
I know you think that.
Okay. All right.
So, are you saying that you should get out of criticism for shitty behavior free card because you were really drunk, and it's okay for you to be violent against your friends and to basically risk people's lives with a loaded gun because you're drunk?
Well, I think you could make the argument that it was irresponsible of me to get that drunk. Then again, I could also argue that it was like irresponsible of Galen to get me that drunk. If I wanted to avoid personal responsibility, which I don't, I'm not making that argument. I'm just saying it's conceivable. But yeah, I don't think I was responsible for my actions while I was that fucking cocked off my ass. I mean, if I dosed you up with acid, would you want to be held responsible for the consequences in a court of law if you ended up killing somebody or running a car off the road? I think it's silly for you to like hold my feet to the fire for something I do when I'm fucking drunk.
I guess Galen was in possession of your firearm when he was forcing you to drink. Is that what was going on?
You're missing the point, Dopey. You're missing the fucking point.
Well, I think your point's stupid. I think what I said is totally appropriate. Your drunkenness is no excuse for waving a loaded gun around, putting it to your head, and threatening your friends with violence. I've seen a lot of really, really drunk people, and I've never seen that behavior. It's not common.
What part of
so
Canada
that means that it's your. That means
I heard Canadians get pretty drunk.
Means it's your personality that brought that out. It's your violence. It's your ego that made you speak and act that way.
I do have a bit of violence inside me, Dopey. Right.
And irresponsibility and rudeness and
immaturity. Rudeness and irresponsibility I won't even contest. I'm a very rude and irresponsible.
What about immaturity?
Immaturity? Well, I'm debating a troll on Blog TV. I think that's obvious.
So what are you disputing exactly? You're saying that the alcohol is an excuse, and I'm saying that these traits are already in you.
I'm just disputing your premise in FakeSagan Fails Volume 2 that alcohol brought out my true self. I think it's ridiculous because there's more than one psychoactive drug in the human pharmacopoeia, and each one brings out a different truth. If I was fucked up on ecstasy that night, I would have been hugging everybody instead of waving a gun around. And is that my true self? What is this bullshit about true selves and inner selves? What are you, Freud? It's just ridiculous. That's not
what you were referring to when you read out the quote. You read that when I said that your drunkenness was no excuse for these behaviors. Now you're referring to something else, which I've actually seen you refer to in a blog TV 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago.
Oh, so you watch my blog TV sessions?
No, somebody sent me a clip.
Oh, okay. I'm flattered, Dopey.
There's no need to be flattered.
Oh, but I am. You're keeping tabs on me. You have an intelligence network of spies coming to my shows and data mining them for instances where I mention you so that you can claim I'm obsessed with you.
I don't seek out this information. People PM me and send me shit.
Right.
I don't ask anybody to look for it.
But then
I can guarantee you that.
But then you click the links in the PMs and you pursue that information rather than just, going delete. And I don't care what FakeSagan's doing. And fuck that guy. You're interested in me. I take that.
If somebody tells me that,
I think that's kind of sweet, Dopey. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm kind of touched.
Okay. If that makes you feel good inside, then that's great.
I feel really good inside. Can't admit that you're a FakeSagan fan.
No, I assure you I'm not a FakeSagan fan.
Yeah, I know.
Are you trying to seduce me or something? What's going on here?
Maybe, I might have gotten the wrong idea from your porn industry video. Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know what I'm talking about? Really?
What was
the
gay?
Pornography debate. And this is a quote by you, StraightDope. These men are expected to achieve and maintain erections in front of huge groups of people for hours at a time. The sexual stamina that's portrayed in these films perpetuates unrealistic standards for ordinary men. It can have a negative impact on their self-esteem. These men are usually forced to ejaculate on undesirable targets, such as the breasts and faces of their female counterparts. I don't find those undesirable targets. If you do, that's kind of interesting. This activity goes against the man's natural biological urges. And I know that video was a joke, by the way. I'm fucking with you, so please don't take this shit seriously.
No, now it's my turn to be flattered that you wrote all of that down.
I have detailed notes on every video you've ever made right here, Dopey. You should be very flattered. Look at this. Pages and pages of shit.
And you claim that you're not obsessed with me.
Well, I prepared for the debate, StraightDope. I mean, I typed all this stuff out yesterday.
Extensive notes on every video I've made.
I typed it all out in one day.
Are they all in the 8 questions?
I did it, yes. I haven't been,
are they on the 8
stalking
questions
you for years or some shit. I think your definition of obsession is just like the proper diligence that someone should exert when they're trying to win a fucking debate. And I think it paid off, because I think you've come out looking pretty stupid on a lot of these fucking questions.
I guess we'll see what people think about it.
I guess I expect the anonymous fucking troll to take your side no matter how well I trounce you in this debate, because you're like the you're like the Martin Luther King of trolls that give them community self-esteem and make them feel good about them. It's okay to be a troll. You're beautiful. Be you.
Fakey, you're using the word troll
shtick.
wrong.
Oh, right. Yeah, see, there you are. You're doing it. You're the apologist of trolling. That's you.
So when someone expresses an opinion and they're anonymous, they're a troll.
No.
In your eyes.
No. When someone harasses somebody who is not anonymous and they are anonymous,
no, you were referring to the people who will think that I came out on top in this little discussion.
But I wasn't talking about every anonymous person. I said anonymous trolls are going to fucking think that you came out on top. I didn't say every anonymous person is going to take your case. You're misconstruing my words.
So you mean actually trolls?
Yeah, actual trolls. I think your audience is comprised largely of trolls. I think you've got 8,000 trolls subscribed to your fucking channel.
Aren't those the rats trying to cling to your sunken ship?
And you think I didn't have trolls in my fucking audience? Oh, man, you haven't read my fucking comments. You need to come to some of my YouTube videos and read the comments, man. Trolls love me. Look, I'm debating one right now. Come on, buddy. What you doing here?
Well, that's just like your opinion.
That's just like my opinion, man, yeah.
I love how that's the catchphrase of this fucking discourse.
That carpet really tied the room together. I gotta get it back. Yeah, alright now. We're done bonding. Okay. So,
yes?
You've harshly criticized Brett Keane for his plagiarism of a Judy Brunet poem.
Did I harshly criticize him for that?
Oh, yeah. And yet you're very... Oh, okay, so it wasn't... So it was a mild criticism. Whatever, Dopey, come on.
Well, I don't know, I'm just,
You're just being ridiculous.
Just feeling you out.
I know. Yet your very presence on YouTube is a plagiarism of a popular Q&A column which appears in print and on the internet. You knew I was going to go there, Dopey. In February 2nd, 2011, the video No Relation, you mentioned that you chose to remove your channel tagline, Fighting Ignorance on YouTube since 2009, a variation on the StraightDope website's motto, Fighting Ignorance since 1973, only after you were contacted by the owners of the StraightDope newspaper column. You also confirmed that you'd actually begun to receive ad revenue from your StraightDope, quote-unquote, videos. Income that you generated with criticisms of other people's original video content uploaded onto a video channel named after other people's original print content. So my question for you is, where do you get off criticizing anyone for plagiarism when your entire YouTube career has consisted of one plagiarism after another?
Kind of funny that you have another question about plagiarism when you've already shown that you don't even know what the word means. But whatever, I guess that doesn't really matter for answering this question. I picked my username based on what the term means, and following that, I put up a tagline that was an homage to the column. And I never expected that I would...
An homage. By the way, I love the word homage. You and Quentin Tarantino, right? He doesn't rip off of movie ideas. He makes homages. I like that. That's good. Maybe Brett Keane made an homage of the Judy Brunet poem. I mean, he did change it slightly, so it wasn't really plagiarism. It was an homage, right?
No, it's a username.
Maybe you don't know what plagiarism
It's a username on a website. I didn't create another question and answer column and call it StraightDope. I do something completely different. I make YouTube videos about atheists and Christians on YouTube and about random topics.
Well, apparently the similarities were enough to get the attention of the owners of the StraightDope column, and you never showed us that email. I'd love to know what they actually said to you that made you take your tagline down. Oh, you're going to get it?
You want me to look it up?
Sure. I'm kind of curious, to be honest.
It was actually a PM on YouTube, and I responded to them with an email. They seemed to be satisfied with that, and a month later, I decided to change my tagline. And it wasn't because of what the people at the StraightDope column had said to me. It was because I kept getting PMs and comments saying, "Hey, are you the column?" And obviously, that's not good. So that's why I changed the tagline.
Obviously, that's not good. And if you're getting PMs like that, the next logical inference is that at least some of your ad revenue came from people that were looking for the StraightDope column. So you profited off somebody else's fucking name. Is that not plagiarism?
No, that's not plagiarism.
No, that's not plagiarism. Why?
Well, why is it?
Because you're profiting off somebody else's
I haven't. No, this isn't their trademark. They are the StraightDope, and they're a syndicated column. I am StraightDope with a zero, which is a fucking popular idiom that's been around for decades. and it's a username. It's a username on YouTube.
Don't pretend
what
you
did
were
I
just
do?
using the idiom when you had their variation of their tagline on the fucking website.
Yeah, and what did I do as soon as there was actual confusion? I removed it, and I said, I'm removing this because people are getting confused, and I am making money off my videos, so I'm not going to keep this tagline up anymore. How is that anything but honest? I don't see how you can argue against that action and claim that I'm plagiarizing anything.
I don't argue against the action you took by taking the tagline down, but you waited until they came to you. You didn't proactively try to distance yourself from the StraightDope column. You waited until they came to you and fucking complained, and then you did it.
Maybe you missed the part where I said I didn't remove it till months later because they never asked me to remove it. They asked me what my intentions were in using that username. I told them that I never claimed to be affiliated with the column in any way, and that I'm not trying to represent them, and that was
that satisfied them. What your intentions were. That's all they said. Okay. You know what? I'll take your word for that.
I'm looking for the PM, but it was like almost a year ago.
No, I'm not being sarcastic. I'll take your word for it.
Okay. So it's obviously not plagiarism because that's not what plagiarism is.
I think that concludes our debate, Dopey. I'm pretty satisfied with the results here.
Are you?
Especially, especially to question 1 and question 2.
Okay, that's good, I guess. This was all just to satisfy you, Fakey.
Your definition of cowardice is fear of doing what's right and important because of the consequences, and yet you can't provide any sound reasoning that that's not what you're fucking doing. And
well, tell me why it's...
That you admit that YouTube would fucking dry up and disappear if everybody made videos the way you do, but you don't see a problem with what you do. That's enough for me. I think I'm satisfied. But I got a little fun tidbit for you. I think you'll like this. The pen name that's actually 3 separate authors, Cecil Adams, that the StraightDope website uses. More personal information is actually known about this pen name Cecil Adams than is known about you. Cecil Adams is an accomplished traveler and currently resides in Chicago's 47th Ward. He's also left-handed and may be balding and colorblind. He mentions having taken a class with Northwestern University professor Bergen Evans, and he mentions once working as an electrician's apprentice and a railroad machinist's helper, and he also mentions attending a Catholic school. He is of Irish descent, Irish, by the way, don't discriminate against us, and he relaxes with Pink Floyd and Baileys. I just, that's not a question or really a debate point. I find it funny that the fake pen name of the columnist that you're named after, your YouTube account, is in a way more of a real person than you are.
So you're saying that I should create a fictional satirical bio of myself, and then I'll be more of a real person on YouTube.
No,
I'll be more legitimate somehow.
No,
right?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying you should reveal real details about yourself.
No, the problem is you have no point.
Details.
You have no point. That's fictional shit.
No, it's not fictional shit. Those are autobiographical details from the separate 3 authors' lives that they've released through the StraightDope column.
A guy who does not even
Right,
exist.
so Cecil that's what I'm saying. The pen name Cecil Adams is more of a real fucking person than you are. There's more dimension and character to Cecil Adams than there is to YouTube's own StraightDope. Because
I know that Cecil Adams worked as an electrician.
I know that Cecil Adams is Irish. I know that Cecil Adams went to Northwestern University, and yet we don't know jack shit about you, even though you're more than fucking willing and eager, in fact, to use other people's personal information against them. Your fucking audience claims that it's wrong to try to get you to divulge personal information and show yourself because, oh, well, you're just trying to make an ad hominem attack, aren't you? You don't want to address StraightDope's points. You want to attack him as a person. And yet that's what you fucking do. They don't want you to be subjected to the same shit that you do to other fucking people. The Cecil Adams thing, that wasn't really a point. It was just a funny bit of trivia. I find it amusing that the public knows more about Cecil Adams, who doesn't even exist, than they do about you.
Right.
That the real authors who write these columns through the pen name Cecil Adams have managed to inject more genuine humanity into their work than you have in 37 videos and 2 years on YouTube. I just think it's funny that you're that ballless.
Well, I'm not interested in injecting my personal life or my, how my day was into my YouTube videos. My YouTube videos are packages of opinions and arguments that people can judge based on their reasoning. And, okay, great, a fictional character has more fictional information available about him than I have.
Your videos are packages of arguments and information?
And opinions.
And opinions. Arguments and opinions. Well, a few of them are. You went through this remarkable period. I think of it as the StraightDope Renaissance, and it was very brief. Between May 8th, 2010 and October 26th, 2010, where you made all these videos on real topics. You made a lecture on tolerance, prostitution is legal in Canada, G20, gag order and bubble trouble, religion is a baby killer, tough on crime. But the rest of the time, you don't present fucking arguments. You present baseless insults and claims that you can't even back up with evidence, such as Brett Keane not having a fucking job.
Wait, that's something. I actually never made that claim. I said that
the idea of him having a job makes you laugh.
That I think it's reasonable. I think it's very reasonable to think that. I think it's pretty much apparent from what he said and from his behavior. I never made that claim in a video. I didn't even make that claim here. I laughed when you talked about Brett Keane's professional aspirations because I think it was fucking funny. Because I think that's extremely far-fetched.
Right, and you say that Brett Keane isn't an author because he self-publishes books on Lulu.
I didn't say he's not an author.
Yeah, I think you did actually.
No,
you said that Brett Keane calls himself an author, but he's not because he's never been published by a real publisher.
No. I did not say, but he's not. You paraphrase the way you want to make your fucking bullshit points. I didn't say, but he's not. I said, just to be clear, no publisher has ever decided to publish anything Brett Keane has written. I'm putting out the truth. I'm saying, wait a second, he's not a published author other than self-published and going to a website, Vanity Press. Yeah, that's what I said, and that's the truth.
That's what you're claiming that you said.
Well, why don't you look it up? I guarantee you that's what I said.
Okay.
Everyone can go see. That's exactly what I said.
I'm not sure I actually have that in my notes, so I might have to concede that point. That's a shame, because I'm pretty sure that you said he's not an author, and he's not a musician, and your rationale for him not being a musician was just the fact that you think his music sucks. You said,
no.
Brett Keane claims to be a musician. Well, if you think he's a musician, watch this. And then you play a clip of his one of his songs, and that's supposed to.
I believe what I said is
his claim of being a musician because you don't like the song.
I believe what I said is as for a musician, judge for yourself, I guess. And I played some of his music, and you can judge whether or not he counts as a musician. I didn't say he's not a musician. I didn't say he's not an author.
Right, but people can judge for themselves, and he doesn't count as a musician if you don't like what he does.
if you think that what he puts together is garbage, then maybe you can conclude that he's a shitty fucking musician.
Yeah, okay. Alright.
All I was presenting was the quality of musician that he is.
Right.
Well, he says that his occupation, or he said, was musician.
Right, you were just referencing the quality of his music, but returning to the familiar leitmotif of the evening, that's just like your opinion, man. Just like in Fake Sagan Fails Volume 1 when you said Fake Sagan's helmet makes him look like a skinny little twerp stuck in Fantasyland. I mean, where are the arguments here? Where are the falsifiable claims and where's the evidence? This is just, all you do is fucking insult people with your own opinion.
I showed...
There are no facts in a StraightDope video, except when you're talking about the G20 and prostitution in Canada, that brief little period when you stop fucking insulting people who have more balls than you fucking do.
I said that my videos are packages of argument and opinion. So just because you pick out an opinion, which is that you look like a silly little twerp stuck in Fantasyland with your stupid hats on, doesn't do anything to take away from what I said. I mean, that's an opinion. And as far as Brett Keen's music, I let other people judge for themselves. I'm like, form your own opinion. That's basically what I said. And I think most people will form the opinion that he fucking sucks and that that's not his occupation. And I did not say that Brett Keen is not an author. I just went into detail about to what extent he is an author.
So I'm selectively singling out your opinions and ignoring the fact-based arguments. Right.
Well, the fact, when I explained to what extent Brett Keen is an author, that was all fact. Was it not?
It's a fact that he self-publishes books on YouTube. I don't see how that, on Lulu. I don't see how that makes him less of an author, though, than somebody who has a contract with Random House or Bantam or whatever the fuck.
Okay. Well, that's your opinion. I didn't say that he is not a real author. I said that as for author, as his occupation, this is how he's an author. That's perfectly fair. If you put an occupation author, most people are going to assume that somebody else wants to pay you for what you've written. Someone else wanted to publish it.
I would not assume that. I would not assume that. I think you're an author if you write books and never fucking do shit with them. I mean, what about Emily? What about
that's
Emily
not your
Dickinson?
occupation, is
what
it?
about fucking Emily Dickinson? No. She never fucking published a goddamn thing when she was. Would you say she's not an author?
I'm saying that wasn't her occupation. If you put in your occupation in your fucking under occupation in your YouTube info that you're an author, why are you being so difficult about this? Obviously, people are going to make the assumption that you are a professional author and that you have passed some kind of test in somebody's mind that you are qualified to write a book and have it sold. And so I clarified that that's not the case when it comes to Brett Keen. He's the one who decided that people should read his shit. And he went through a website and
by the way, I hate being in the unenviable position of having to defend Brett Keen. I'll just go.
I think you get off on it, personally.
I might have a little bit of a Jesus complex. I can see that.
I remember you admitted to helping him deflect criticism like 4 years ago in the background, and after a whole bunch of controversy ended, you made a video saying that you were like his strategist, like you were like his Karl Rove in the background, helping him attack his critics.
I think you're actually thinking of Von Helton too. Maybe I might have said that about Brett Keen, but I think you're thinking of Von Helton.
No, it was Brett Keen.
Oh, maybe because Von Helton is just to digress for a minute, but it's actually pertinent to what you just said. He's embroiled in a pedophilia drama, I guess, where like somebody's claiming that he tried to solicit nude pictures of an underage girl, and now he's got the attention of B and Anonymous, and every time he does a show on BTV, like all of these happy little fail trolls come in and start anonymously talking shit. And I do kind of take it upon myself to be his like de facto security chief and kick everybody out. I like spoiling lulz for anonymous trolls. I think you guys are cowards. I do get off on it, definitely.
I'm grouped in with those people.
Oh, you were for sure grouped in with those people.
All right.
What differentiates you from them?
I don't follow people around and leave comments and all their shit and go into the chat rooms and, harass them. I don't. I make videos. I very rarely comment on other people's videos. I even very rarely comment on my own videos. I put out videos when I feel like I have something to say. That differentiates me from random harassers who flock to one particular target and harass them or bother them. I don't do that.
You flock to Brett Keane. He's your particular target. You've made 11 videos about the guy.
I don't follow him around. I don't harass him. When I see that he's lying to people and he's trying to profit from it, then sometimes, and only sometimes, because he does it a lot more than I make videos about it, I'll put out a video and I'll show people, hey, look, Brett Keane's still at it. He's still stealing people's money. He's still lying to people. And I think that's perfectly legitimate and useful and necessary.
Legitimate and useful. And yeah, what would the world do without StraightDope? I guess.
No.
What would the little corner life savings by now, right?
What?
I guess Brett Keane would have cleaned out all of our life savings by now, right? If it wasn't for you protecting.
There are a lot of people. There are a lot of people who donated to him, only to find out later what a dishonest piece of shit he is, and feel like they got taken.
Have you ever heard the saying caveat emptor?
What?
Have you ever heard the Latin motto caveat emptor?
Possibly.
It means let the buyer beware.
Right. So blame the sucker, not the con man. I reject that completely. I mean, buyer beware to me is more of a it's more advice. Like, be careful, don't get sucked in. It's not blame the person who got suckered.
So I guess on the issue of like the housing bubble, you would believe that all the blame rests with the banks and not the people that took mortgages they couldn't afford, and like you're not a big one for personal responsibility, is what you're saying, right?
Well, the people who got tricked by paragraphs of fine print that they probably couldn't possibly comprehend, I don't blame them when banks intentionally did that, knowing that they would take people in and end up with the properties anyway. No, I don't blame those victims. I blame the people who knowingly take advantage of people who don't know any better.
Okay. I actually think there's blame on both sides. I don't rest it all on one or the other. But I think it takes two parties for a con to take place. It requires a con man and it requires a sucker.
Right. It takes two parties for somebody to be raped too. That doesn't mean you spread the blame equally, does it?
I don't think that's a fair comparison at all.
Well, it's about as fair a comparison as your comparison when I said that you got yourself banned intentionally, and you said, oh, do you think women who are dressed provocatively are asking to be raped? About as fair as that. I think probably more fair, actually.
Well, that's just like your opinion, man.
I think it's obvious. You have a victim, and you have someone who's victimizing somebody knowingly. Mm-hmm. They don't get equal blame. I mean, just because maybe the victim should have known that they should read their contract when signing on to a mortgage doesn't mean they deserve blame when the bank is intentionally taking advantage of their ignorance.
Okay.
I just don't accept that proposition.
I can accept that viewpoint, 0pe. I'm still going to be anxiously awaiting the time when you show the same level of dedication towards protecting people from Thunderfoot's e-begging as you do in the instance of Brett Keane. I don't think that's ever going to fucking happen, but okay.
Well, comparing Thunderfoot to Brett Keane is laughable.
It's laughable?
Yeah.
There are both atheists on YouTube who solicit donations through PayPal.
Yeah, and Thunderfoot says, here's a link, donate some money to me, and you will help support my channel, you'll help motivate me to make YouTube videos. And I don't like that he takes money from his subscribers, and I don't like that that he asks them for it, but Brett Keane makes up stories every few months of desperation and hard times to suck people's money out of their wallets.
Yeah,
and
but Brett
Keane
is a pathological liar. He's probably got some kind of syndrome, Dopey.
So that means that
I don't think he just lies when it comes to e-begging. I think he lies about everything in his fucking life. I bet he's the kind of guy that comes home at the end of the day, or, well, you know, if he leaves the house, and tells his wife that like, you know, he met a CIA spy on the way home from the bakery or something. He's kind of crazy, Dopey.
So therefore, let him be?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I disagree.
Pretty fucking much. Therefore, let him be.
Well,
after 11,
I'm not going to let him take people's money so that he can have more computers.
After constant harassment and 11 fucking videos and an audience of 8,000 people that you built off his fucking back, let him be. That is what I'm saying. I don't think he'll do it, but I think you fucking should.
I don't care what you think. If he keeps taking money from people and making them feel sorry for him and tricking them into thinking that he's about to be kicked out of his house, then I'm going to keep making videos telling people that he's a fucking liar.
Do you really know that he was never close to getting kicked out of his house? I don't care if he can't help it. I don't give a shit. Maybe he's a pathological liar. Maybe he can't help it at all. I don't care. That doesn't mean you don't just let it happen unchecked. Do you really think that he was never close to getting kicked out of his house?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Because I remember you saying, this is a paraphrase, but I have the direct quote if you challenge me on it. I remember you saying, I don't think Brett Keane genuinely needs help. But even if he does, he doesn't deserve it. So who does deserve help, Dopey?
People who don't make a habit of lying to people and taking their money. If Brett Keane, at that moment, needed help, he, out of everyone else who needs help, does not deserve it because he is one of the most dishonest people I've ever come across.
And if his dishonesty is pathological, that doesn't matter, right?
No.
That doesn't matter.
Not when he's stealing from people left and right.
If he has a mental problem that's causing him to lie, that doesn't make a difference. That's what you just said. I'm pretty shocked, actually, Dopey. Okay, fine. That's the kind of person you are. I
have zero sympathy for any of Brett Keane's plights, real or fictional. I think he's a piece of shit. And
right. And you know, this is all purely hypothetical. I mean,
I'm 95% convinced that he's committing public assistance fraud. So fuck him. I don't care.
But you know, this is hypothetical. Maybe he doesn't have any kind of mental problem at all, and he's just a big douchebag the way you think. But
yeah, that's my opinion. So
the point is, you don't care.
Coming from that point of view, he doesn't deserve
shit. If he genuinely does have some kind of fucking problem, that doesn't matter to you.
He doesn't deserve our help because he has that problem. No, he doesn't deserve the help of the people on YouTube that he's taken advantage of and abused. No, he can find help
because then
in the real fucking world. He can go to a social worker. He can.
Then you'd have to find a new fucking meal ticket if it turned out that there was really something wrong with Brett Keane. So you don't want to believe that.
I don't believe it.
Don't believe it.
It's not my meal ticket.
Brett Keane is your fucking meal ticket. Without Brett Keane, there's no StraightDope. And you better fucking recognize that.
Fucking bullshit.
Whatever.
I'm telling you, I would not have made all those videos about Brett Keane if he hadn't gotten me suspended. He fucking asked for it.
But I think you started to see the subscriptions rolling in, and then video after video about Brett Keane came out because it was paying off.
I got a lot more views on videos that have nothing to do with Brett Keane than I ever got on a Brett Keane video.
I'll have to take your word for that. I didn't bother writing your view counts down. I wasn't that thorough.
Well, the videos about him are trailing, trust me.
So, you, when you were talking to Mannix the Pirate, this is something that's always bothered me. I wasn't going to bring it up, Dopey, but since still talking. Mannix compared e-begging to somebody that plays the saxophone on the sidewalk and puts an open case, and if you enjoy the entertainment they provide, you can throw in some loose change. And your response to that is that I would equate e-begging to, playing music on the street with no...
I think I basically said that those people are putting in real physical work right before your eyes. And they've come out of their house and they're in front of you and they're playing music in front of you.
As for your example, I see a distinct difference in that a busker on the sidewalk is physically putting in work right before your eyes. Yes? Good memory. Yeah. He got off his ass, he left his house, and he set up shop to make some money from his talent. YouTube is a site with content that should largely be for and by the people. And I believe that users, and particularly e-bloggers, should be making content because they find it fun and they want to express themselves. So let me ask you this. Does Stephen King deserve to get paid? He doesn't leave the house. Writes his novels at home on a get out and put the typewriter on the sidewalk somewhere. What is leaving the house? It seems like a ridiculous qualification to put on the amount of work someone does in producing their art, whether or not they left the house. What the fuck does that matter?
Well, I compared most people on YouTube to getting on a soapbox and just spouting their opinions and their views, which is what they do. It's not, most of it is not art. I wouldn't call most of it art.
Yeah, you said that.
And most of it is done in leisure time by people who want to just express themselves, right? They want the opportunity to get their voice out there.
Right. This is you. You don't see people standing on soapboxes in Speaker's Corner with the top out, hoping to get a few quid for their dissenting opinions. That's your exact quote.
Yeah.
Isn't that what every politician does? They solicit campaign contributions based on some dissenting opinion about how they're going to change the status quo and make reforms.
They solicit campaign contributions so that they can get elected into the legislature so that they can represent their constituency, supposedly.
Yeah. But I still don't understand this leaving the house thing and why that's so important.
Because it's live and they're doing work right in front of your face. They're putting in effort in real time. They haven't taken 5 minutes out of their day to turn on webcam and just rant about the fucking Casey Anthony trial or whatever the fuck. I see a difference. You might not see a difference, but I do.
Well, I don't see what difference it makes whether it's live or not. I mean, by that rationale, all movies should be free, which they practically are, because it's not live entertainment. It's pre-recorded. But do you spend money making your YouTube videos? Does it cost you any money? Absolutely.
It costs you like 15 minutes of your fucking time.
Absolutely, I've spent money on YouTube videos.
It's like,
oh yeah.
No, every video. Does every video cost you money?
Not every single video, no.
It costs you about 15 minutes of your time.
Oh no, it costs more than that. See, that's the point I was getting to. I did detect the undercurrent in your insinuation that making videos is really easy, so people don't deserve to be paid for it. And I can understand why somebody who makes videos the way you do would think that.
Bullshit. The way I make videos is a lot harder than the way you make videos.
Oh,
I fucking
really? Is that a fucking fact? That's interesting.
It is a fact.
Dopey. So it's easy. It's a lot harder to take images off Google image search and just put them in a collage in fucking Movie Maker with you narrating your voice over top of it and over top of clips of other people's fucking videos than it is for me to actually get on camera and deliver a performance and then go and edit it and fucking upload it. Do you know how much time that actually takes? You know what you should do? This is my suggestion, all right? I'm not telling you to reveal your fucking personal details or show your face. But borrow a webcam from somebody who has one and make a video. Don't upload it, just make it. So you can see how long it fucking takes and how much effort really goes into it, because you clearly don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
You don't usually edit your videos.
I edit my videos all the fucking time.
Well, usually not.
Maybe you just don't notice the edits because they're smooth.
Yeah. That's fucking bullshit.
That's bullshit?
I'm telling you, it takes me... It's not less work to do it the way I do. It's definitely not less work. It's not lazier.
I know how much work.
I don't just grab the first fucking Google image I see. For one thing, I generally use...
Oh, you don't just grab the first Google image you see. You put hard work into selecting those Google images.
It takes... All right. It does take time.
Oh, shit. I put hard work into taking other people's fucking images and putting them in. You're killing me. StraightDope. What I do is a lot fucking harder. And do you know how I know? Because I made that advertisement for this debate tonight in your style. I know how fucking hard.
It was badly done, by the way. You failed.
And so are all of your fucking videos. Your videos fucking failed.
I don't know. I disagree.
I know you do. And you also disagree that you're a coward. That doesn't
Yours
mean
was lazy and it was a minute long. Try doing a 10-minute video like that.
Do you think I've never done complicated feats of fucking editing in a video?
I didn't say that.
I thought you dug up all my old videos and mined them for bits of information to use against me. So you should know that isn't the case. You should know I put plenty of time into editing these there have been some videos I've made on YouTube that took numerous days of editing, not just hours. It would take 2 or 3 days to finish the fucking video.
Well, that's fucking great. Pat yourself on the back. All I'm saying is that it's not much easier, and I don't think it's any easier. In fact, I think it's more time-consuming to do videos the way I do them than it is to sit in front of the camera.
I'm saying that you're a condescending, cavalier fucking prick for telling people that their art is worthless, and that they don't have the fucking right to expect some fucking monetary compensation, especially when you're taking fucking ad revenue and you don't even do anything original. You don't even get on the fucking camera. You use fucking other people's images from Google image search.
You're
the one that doesn't deserve to be making fucking money off YouTube. Mannix should be able to make all the fucking money he wants because he puts himself out there in the public and exposes himself to criticism, which you don't fucking do. Not to mention that when he fucking gets on the camera, he fucking expounds on original content and ideas that he came up with himself instead of just taking the piss out of somebody else's fucking original work, which is all you fucking do.
Well, I don't expect anyone to give me their money, and I don't think any individual YouTuber is worthy of taking money from their audience any more than any other. And I think that if any particular YouTuber decides to leave, their spot will be filled instantly by someone who will do it for free and won't want money from their audience. So I don't think it's necessary to have these people claiming that they're artistic and that their audience should pay them for what they do because they put work into it that they would probably do anyway because they want their shit to be seen.
You know, your distinction between soliciting direct donations and receiving ad revenue has never made a lot of sense to me. What do you think that ad revenue dollars just come out of thin air? They grow off the fucking money tree?
They come from viewership.
Capitalism is a zero-sum game. In order for you to make a dollar, somebody else has to lose a fucking dollar, and I think you understand that.
Capitalism's a zero-sum game.
Right.
What's that have to do with begging your audience for money? I mean, you get paid, if you have ads in your videos, you get paid based on how popular your videos are, how much people want to watch them. And that makes perfect sense.
What it has to do with, Dopey, the zero-sum game comment, is that in order for you to make a dollar, somebody else somewhere along the line has to lose a dollar. There's a finite amount of dollars. Okay? So all you seem to be quibbling with is the method in which somebody gets their fucking compensation for their videos. You want people to get it from Google ad revenue and let Google decide what their art is worth and let Google fucking dictate to content providers what we are worth, rather than people just putting a hat on the sidewalk and saying, give me what you think I fucking deserve. You don't like that. You don't like people doing for their fucking selves. So that comes from your liberal ideology, Dopey. You're a hierarchical thinker. You like to be dictated to.
Wait, I'm a hierarchical thinker because...
You absolutely are.
Because I'm liberal?
Yes.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Oh, right, that's the stupidest thing you ever... Because you don't think liberals are authoritarian in nature, do you?
Liberals are far more concerned with equalization than conservatives are, as far as wealth and rights and opportunity.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're real concerned with equalization in the Marxist sense of, redistribution of wealth and the government sticking their fucking hands in our pockets. Yeah, absolutely. But that's authoritarian.
Well, that depends, doesn't it?
What does it depend on? Whether you
depends on who's deciding. About? Depends on who's deciding if resources will be distributed or not. Anyway, I'm not here to have a debate on political ideology.
Yeah, we don't have to do that. It was just a observation, Dopey. I think you're a hierarchical thinker. I see that shine through in a lot of your viewpoints. And I wouldn't have known that about you until yesterday when I went through all your videos and compiled this dizzying amount of fucking data right here. I think I got to know the real StraightDope.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
Well, good for you.
At least to the greatest extent possible for somebody who's as timid as you are. That way.
Okay.
Okay.
Like, I mean, all that shit you say fucking falls flat on me. Like, I don't care. You can call me timid, coward, pussy. All I hear from you is, I'm not a pussy. I'm not a pussy. I'm brave. I'm FakeSagan. I'm not a pussy. That's what I hear when you say that shit. I think that
that's what I
all
believe.
of this. I think all of this
that you're a pussy.
is a lot. I think all of this is a lot.
What you're hearing is what I'm saying. I'm glad
I think it's more about you trying to assert superiority and bravery for yourself and wanting people to recognize that in what you do rather than trying to show that I'm a pussy or a coward. That's the way I interpret it.
No, that's where you're wrong. You think I'm getting off on a superiority kick here. I would love to see you start doing what I do. I would not be heartbroken if you showed your face tomorrow and grew a set of fucking balls. That wouldn't make me feel like I wasn't special anymore. If that's what you think, you're mistaken.
Yeah, and by saying that, what are you saying? You're saying that I, FakeSagan, have balls.
Yeah.
And I am a man, and I'm courageous because I get on camera and I say what I say.
They're pale and small and Irish,
I think that's the point. I really believe that is your main point, that you deserve recognition for having balls, rather than that I don't deserve any respect because I don't have balls, because I don't get on camera like FakeSagan does and like his friends do. That's the way I interpret
well,
this whole line of
it sounds like you're just getting into an issue of contrast here, like something can't be high unless something else is fucking low.
I think that's your position. I think that's why you're taking your position personally.
Well,
that's my
sure, but it's not all about personal glory for me. I think that everybody who has the guts to fucking put themselves out there in public and step out onto the stage and reveal their human frailties and their weaknesses and let everybody in the audience judge them for what they are. I think everybody who does that deserves fucking respect, not just me. And I think everybody who's a fucking coward like you, taking the piss out of people who fucking do that without exposing yourself to the same criticism, doesn't deserve any fucking respect. That's absolutely what I believe.
I know you believe that.
All right.
And I've done it to very few people, and it happens to be you and people that you happen to like, but it's not indiscriminate, and it's not because people put themselves out there, it's because of the shit they do, the shit they say, and how they act. And it's a bunch of assholes that I do it to.
It's not because of how they act. Because you don't apply your fucking criticisms evenly. You didn't rip Thunderfoot a new asshole and make fun of his appearance and call him all kinds of fucking names.
I didn't make fun of TJ's appearance either.
What?
I didn't make fun of TJ's appearance either, or Cody's appearance.
I am not sure if you did or not. I might have to take your word on that. I'm pretty sure you've made some remarks about TJ's. Actually, no, you did. You called TJ unattractive. I remember that.
Yeah, you're right, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Well,
you use those
maybe I meant
personal attacks more than you fucking think you do. I bet you don't even realize how heavily you rely on insults of other people's fucking appearance. And coming from somebody that doesn't show themselves, that is supreme cowardice, whether you think it is or not.
Fakey, I would like you to add them all up and tell me the number.
I will. Would you like me to? We never got to that because you cut me off in the middle of reading the list of physical appearance insults.
Just count them out. I mean, I don't want to hear them all. Just add them up.
Hear them all.
Tell me the number.
Okay.
I have a feeling it's under 10.
Well, it probably is, but you've got 37 videos to your name, Dopey.
Yeah, and
that's
under 10 comments about the way people look.
Well,
you can't say that that's heavily relying on insults about people's physical appearance.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Wait, 11. You're including the Jon Favreau one. I don't think that counts.
You don't think it counts?
No, that's not an insult. It's just a description. I just thought that was funny. I wasn't trying to insult the guy.
You weren't trying to insult the guy. In the phonage video that you began by saying, this guy looks like a cross between Jon Favreau and Harold Ramis.
Yeah.
Why would you?
He does. I think it's.
Right. You think it's funny. You think his appearance is an object of ridicule for you. And yet you won't show
you want to
yourself.
take that as ridicule. I didn't take that as ridicule. I thought it was a funny observation. That's all.
Okay. But why? Okay. But why is somebody who's unwilling to show himself making any observations about the way other people look like when you don't need to do that to present your arguments?
Because I think it's entertaining sometimes, and I think sometimes people deserve it.
You think sometimes people deserve it, but you don't think that you deserve it. That's apparent because you've
it's
let
irrelevant.
yourself
I have other reasons
and vulnerable to it.
I have other reasons for being anonymous. It has nothing to do with judging whether or not I deserve a particular criticism or whether or not I should provide the opportunity for people.
Right, right.
Nothing that does not factor
I've heard this song and dance before. You know, your anonymity doesn't have anything to do with you being afraid of people ridiculing your appearance the way you've done countless fucking times. It doesn't have anything to do with that.
Wait, countless? Wait, I thought you were counting them.
Yeah,
what number did you get to?
Poor choice of words. Touche, smartass. It doesn't have anything to fucking do with that. It's about your career concerns, and you're afraid for your safety, and you don't want people who know you in real life to see you on the internet. You don't want your internet life and your real life to mix. We only have your word for that, don't we? I mean, that's...
Yeah, you do. Only I'm in a position to judge whether or not that is a good decision for me. Only I am, and that goes for everybody else who makes the choice.
Only you're in a position to make the decision, but you're not the only one in a position to judge. I feel very justified fucking judging you. I think you're a coward.
Yeah, you can judge based on no real information. That's your prerogative. Go ahead. I don't care.
The
I don't care what your judgment is. I don't care what your assumptions are. I don't give a fuck.
You insult people's appearance and you don't show yourself. What other information do I need?
That's true.
To reach
I
the
insult
conclusion
the appearance
that you're a pussy.
Sometimes I insult the appearance, and I don't think I've done that since I don't know. Probably not since the first year of TV computer. But whatever.
I do it
to fucking douchebags.
But that's your opinion, man. That's like your opinion, man.
I know, and it's my opinion that they deserve it, and that I'm justified in doing it.
But
you know what?
In my opinion, you're a
your opinion that I don't have the right, and that I'm a pussy if I do it.
In my opinion, you're a douchebag, and you deserve the same thing that you fucking do to other people. But look, that's opinion, and potato, you know, whatever.
This whole thing's based on opinion. This whole conversation is based on opinion.
But here's what's not based on opinion, okay? Here's what's fact.
That you have pale little Irish nuts?
Well, according to you. But that actually is opinion, because, you know, who's to say what's little? I mean, what is the nut scale here? Anyway, you're just distracting my point. Here's what is an opinion. Here's what is fucking fact. The people who you consider douchebags, who you ridicule, they are vulnerable to criticisms of their appearance, whereas you are not. You're invulnerable to those criticisms. And being someone who's invulnerable to criticism of a certain type, in order to be even-handed, you should refrain from making those criticisms of other fucking people. The fact that you don't proves that you're a pussy who doesn't mind taking an unfair fucking advantage in a conflict.
Well,
that's all I'm saying.
I don't give a fuck.
You can fucking dance around the issue all you want.
I don't give a fuck. No, I'm not dancing around anything. I don't give a fuck if you think it's fair or not. All of these people have chosen to get into the game slagging other people. So I don't care if I come in and I throw some of their own shit back their way.
But
I think they deserve it, and I don't have to put a chink in my own armor for it to be
No, you
okay.
do. You absolutely do. What is wrong?
I don't.
What is wrong with two people who are both appear on camera criticizing one another's fucking appearance? There's no unfair advantage being pressed in that scenario.
Okay.
Are you confused, Dopey?
I'm not confused at all. I'm waiting for you to go somewhere.
I think trying to explain courage to a coward is like trying to teach a monkey how to drive an Oldsmobile. I'm just banging my head into a fucking wall with this.
I told you how I define those things, and what you do on YouTube doesn't really fall into them, because that shit's basically inconsequential, as far as I'm concerned. That's the context of YouTube, and it has nothing to do with bravery or cowardice, for the most part.
Oh, it's interesting that you said that, StraightDope. You know, YouTube doesn't have anything to do with bravery or cowardice for you, because you've ventured nothing. You risk nothing. But you are courageous because you risk, right? Oh, absolutely.
Exactly.
I've gotten death
threats
on my fucking channel.
That's what this is about, man. It's not about me.
It's all about me
you.
personally. And not everybody else who fucking shows their face. It's just my ego, right? Me. Just fake singing. Okay.
That's what this is about. Yeah. It's about your ego.
That's absurd. I'm not the only person with the guts to appear on camera in front of strangers and talk about themselves, talk about their fears, talk about their hopes.
I know that.
Talk about their fucking
I know that.
what they're about and what's important to them. And I think all those people fucking deserve respect for doing that, not just me. You keep trying to make this about me being an egomaniac, and it's fucking not.
No, I think you want particular recognition for it. And
well, what do you base that on? What makes you think I want particular recognition?
Well, your general, you try to convey yourself as some kind of hero, some kind of political hero, and you either you're delusional or you want people to believe that you're some kind of
political hero. What, like Captain America?
I saw you say that you think YouTube targeted you for suspension because of your political opinions.
I suspect that. I can't prove it. Yeah.
No, yeah, and I don't know if you suspect that. I think that you're kind of
delusional,
deluding yourself, yes, or you just want people to have that opinion and believe that. And I think it's insane, personally, that
maybe it is
put you on their shit list because your political.
Do you know why I believe that, Dopey?
Your political ideas.
Do you want to know why I believe that? I can tell you right now.
Threatening to the establishment that YouTube has you on their list, you with your 10,000 subscribers, and they're just looking for an excuse to shut you up. And that's one of the things that makes me think that your ego
Let me know when
is
you're done.
Huge, and you just want people to think that you're some kind of brave. Okay, you've heard enough.
You're not letting me get a word in edgewise here.
Well, that's what I've dealt with for 3 hours.
Snap! What a burn.
That's the truth.
Dopey, the reason that I suspect, and I'm not saying that I know it for a fact, the reason I suspect that I was targeted for my political fucking opinion is that I've seen a lot of examples of people exhibiting the behaviors that YouTube cited as the reasons they banned me to a greater degree. You know, I've seen more extreme examples than what I was doing, and those people didn't get banned because their content, by and large, tended to be more status quo, more family friendly, which is code for corporate advertisement friendly. You know, I make videos about some pretty radical topics, and I think that makes YouTube nervous. I think they're afraid of me driving away advertisers, so they'll take the slightest excuse to fucking ban my ass out of there. And I think we're going to see that happen again when I begin making videos of that nature again. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I am just delusional. But you don't know one way or the other.
Well, I know that you want to paint yourself as the persecuted political leader and the espouser of
I've never
ideas
called
dangerous to the
myself
establishment.
a leader. I'm an anarchist, Dopey. I don't want to lead or be led by anyone.
Fakey, the reason you were suspended for that video is because there was a lot of attention from thousands of people surrounding it, so YouTube heard a lot about it. That's the only reason. It has nothing to do with your other videos.
You understand that there's something called the strike system, and they don't just ban you for one thing?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Just making sure.
So
I think that YouTube has a lot of wiggle room to decide where to apply the community guidelines and where to kind of look the other way.
Of course they do, but they'll single you out because of your dangerous political opinions.
Dangerous, unpopular, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, I think they do. And I think it's not just me. I think they they try to marginalize anybody who espouses a radical political philosophy. And I don't think it's paranoid at all to assume that. That's par for the course.
But if you had not asked to be suspended, you wouldn't have been suspended.
I didn't ask to be fucking suspended.
Sure you did.
By re-uploading a video that was removed unjustly. I brought it on myself, right?
Did you think it would not be removed?
Suicide by cop, right?
No. Did you think it would not be removed?
I knew it would be. I took a stand on fucking principle.
So you knew you'd be suspended when you put the video up?
No, I thought they might have backed down.
What? Why would they back down?
Well, I'm about to answer your question if you let me. This is where my ego does come into play. This is where my inflated sense of ego is actually pertinent, because I had the erroneous, now I know to be the erroneous idea, that I was too big to fail, and YouTube would back down and say, well, no, we don't want to ban FakeSagan, which is ridiculous now that I think back to it. I only had 10,000 subs. That's really a drop in the bucket compared to some of these other content providers, but I thought they would back down. I thought there was a chance. Yeah.
But you were already planning to leave YouTube, right? And you were planning to move.
I've talked about leaving YouTube on several occasions.
No, but you said you were about to move and you were going to leave YouTube.
I might have left on my own terms at some point, sure.
So
I don't see how that justifies them banning me for a video that
you got suspended right before you moved, right?
Dopey, let's get down to the
Wait, no.
Let's get down to the nitty-gritty on this issue. Do you think that my video should have been taken down?
Just answer the question.
No, you answer my question. Do you think my video should have been taken down?
No, I've answered enough of your fucking questions. You answer my question now.
See, you're trying to fucking frame the debate here.
I'm just asking for an honest answer to an honest question.
You're asking a
fakey.
You're being
yes
a sophist
or no? Yes or no?
Now.
Did you get suspended right before you moved?
Right before I moved?
Yeah, you left. Where? Washington, I guess, and you moved down south, right? And you got suspended just before you moved, didn't you?
Honestly, I don't remember where I was living at the time. Dopey, I'll let you fill me in on the details of my life that I've forgotten. What does it matter? I don't remember where I was at the time.
I think you were planning to. I mean, you said as much. You were planning to leave YouTube.
Sure.
In a few weeks, and you were moving away, and you said you were not going to be on.
What if I was?
And then you put up
Dopey, what if I was? What if I was planning to leave? Does that mean that justifies them banning me unjustly? I don't think so. Now, answer my fucking question.
So the point is that you wanted it to happen because you didn't want to go out quietly.
The video should have been taken down.
If it was up to me, I wouldn't have taken it down.
You wouldn't have taken it down, right?
No.
Okay. Well, that's all that needs to be said. I was fucking banned unjustly.
You got yourself suspended on purpose still.
That's your fucking opinion, man. And
you don't remember? You don't remember if it happened before or after you moved?
Dopey, it was 2 years ago. I don't fucking care. I don't know.
You remember a lot of stuff from 2 years ago, don't you? Such as that whole event. I mean, you remember all the other details about it.
I remember some details about it. I remember that the reason I was banned was for re-uploading a video about Coughlin's breakdown. That, I remember they suspended me once first, and then a bunch of people petitioned the YouTube staff to let me come back, and then I did come back, and I re-uploaded the video again, and then they fucking banned me permanently. And the reason I uploaded the video again after I came back is I said, okay, well, you guys rescinded your suspension, or rescinded your ban, excuse me, so therefore you admit that you were in error for removing the video. It didn't violate any fucking community guidelines. It was kosher. So therefore I ought to be able to fucking re-upload it. and I would have re-uploaded it 100 times. Now, you should be someone that I don't have to explain the importance of free speech to, because I've heard you talk about that before.
Yeah, but you know that when YouTube decides that they removed a video in error, they reinstate the video. They don't just reopen your account and say, okay, I didn't know that, they would
actually.
shut that shit down.
I didn't know they reinstated videos.
How could you not know that?
By not knowing it? What
After
kind of
being on
question
YouTube
is that?
for years, you didn't know that.
How could you not have the balls to appear on camera? I mean, it's an absurd question. How can you not know that?
Okay, I guess you didn't know very much about the way YouTube works. Then.
I still don't. I don't really understand the flagging process. I don't understand if it's live people